Follow me. Follow me down. Tell all the people that you see. Set them free.
Hey, how's it going, universe? Welcome to another episode of Zoobox, a podcast about nonsense, much of which you're about to hear. Joined today, me, Sean, and I'm joined by Ryan, who's making his...
Whoa.
I know it's the first time in probably months. It's been a while.
Probably 5-6 months.
And then there's Dan. Obviously, there's always Dan.
I'm here.
Can't get rid of him. You can't get rid of him. We do 5-hour streams talking about buck breaking. Now on Odyssey. Now on Odyssey. Dan's always there.
You know what Dan's trying to do for Halloween? He's going to cosplay as Geralt of Rivia. Yes. Look at his fucking hair. I just watched The Witcher today a little bit.
Just balding. That's the only difference, man. Yeah. I'm really, every time I see I guess you could say like balding solutions, I always get like super hyped. And then all of a sudden I'm like, that's not real. It's like,
because it's always like here, get some coconut oil and 4 banana peels.
Or no, like I saw one dude, it looked like it's like a hypodermic needle, Ryan. That's right? That's like a medical needle. Is that correct? Yeah, and like it's just this dude sitting there, and it's just like it's kind of like a slow version of a tattoo gun. It's like deet, 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 all around his head and shit. And I'm like, oh, this is like, if this works, I would do it. Like I would do that.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that.
No, because it wasn't to input hair. It was to do vitamins or whatever. Like in your scalp. I don't know, man. Listen,
man,
dude.
The bald man gets desperate. He gets desperate. He wants that virility back, Dan. Like, you're enjoying this right now. These locks, but at some point, Dan, you might be this guy like, give me the vitamins.
It's good. I think if it really came down to it, if they had a vaccine that had a 50-50 shot of killing you, I might take it. Like a vaccine.
Even just now, tomorrow. This is happening tomorrow.
You're silent. I have no idea what you're saying, dude. Like, fucking
look at this guy. Get an ass?
He fucking shows up. He doesn't know how to work his shit.
Listen, there's a fucking woman in the kitchen making a bunch of commotion.
Yeah, but that's okay, dude. Tell her to fucking be quiet. You say, woman, I listen to a Jordan Peterson podcast, and I'm the man of this household.
Just like lobsters. Hierarchies,
Listen, Jordan Peterson's probably the greatest thinker of our time.
Is that so? You think so?
Yeah, I mean he's up there. He's definitely up there. Him and Brian Kaufman had
top
this
5. Probably Kill Tony. Probably Joe Rogan. Like maybe Brian Callen. Just the usuals, the philosophers of our modern era.
I don't know, man. But everyone should check out the Brian Kaufman one though. It's pretty interesting because I guess they did a research paper together like years ago, and they were kind of going through all this new research and about like SAT scores and like all this. It was really cool, like how they developed it, and it was pretty interesting.
Very nice, very nice. Just up at the top, if you're watching this, you're watching it on our other YouTube channel. We are suspended for 7 days from uploading or doing anything.
What did you do?
Channel. We got buck broken, dude. So this is my fault. This is my fault. It was my fault.
That's why. Well, do you realize that you're because we're on My Future Has Been Face Fucked, right? That's where we are right now?
Yeah, that's where this is going to get uploaded, yeah.
Well, do you know, or we will be, of course, yeah. But do you know that your other video, the Skinner Darkly video, got pulled down?
It got blocked. I was anticipating that. I was surprised it didn't happen right away because it's like Warner Brothers. And when I do these movie reviews now, what I have to do is essentially go appeal. They're going to claim it automatically, so I have to go like, this is for review purposes, et cetera, et cetera. This is a movie review. I'm not showing the movie.
Do they overturn it pretty quickly?
Last time it was like 2 days.
Okay.
But you can go watch it right now on our Odyssey channel. So you guys got to go out there and get our backups because Zoobox, like YouTube has all these new rules. So let me just finish what I was talking about. So Dan and I watched Tariq Nasheed's buck breaking the other night. God. I had to upload it unlisted to our channel so we could watch it together. So I thought it was that at first. I was like, oh shit, but what really happened was I had to upload our watch through of it so I could get a compressed version of the file so I could put it on Odyssey, because Odyssey doesn't allow you to upload videos that are larger than 4 gigs. I don't have any compression software where I could do it and reserve the quality. So I just did that. I forgot to delete it off of our YouTube, but it never went public. It was never public, so it got caught by the algorithm, and then somebody watched it, and somebody gave us a hard strike. So now we have one hard strike for harassment and bullying.
Like a human being watched it?
They watched some of it.
Oh, man. So, well, yeah, because, I mean, I said the word, like, the...
No, Tariq Nasheed and his people went after anybody that even talked about it.
Yeah,
like,
but
they were
you
flagging channels. They were doing crazy.
No, but, so this was a movie?
No, but this is different, though.
No, what I'm saying is the YouTube is alerted to that, though.
No, I hear you, but...
Yeah, and we were talking shit about him. We were talking shit.
Well, we were talking mad shit. Like, but the thing is that this was a manual review by YouTube, and it wasn't alerted by them. This was...
Well, no, yeah. So YouTube, the algorithm obviously found it, and then somebody went and manually reviewed it. This has happened like a few times to old nightcaps, like from months ago. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is so old. But YouTube recently has changed their guidelines. Now it's much more strict. So even on this podcast, with no video, no anything, if they were to watch it and see that we are disparaging somebody that they don't like in a certain way, they could give us they could do it again.
Wait.
So we got
a community
guidelines.
Hold on. Off platform is what you're saying.
Not off platform. It was on their platform. It was just unlisted. It was not publicly available.
What are you gonna do, Sean? Bend the knee?
Well, there's literally nothing I can do.
You gonna take him to court?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Big YouTube.
Listen, according to Tim Pool, if you want to be seen in front of a jury, they throw your case out. Okay?
Yeah, I heard that. I watched that last night. I was like, okay, Tim. But
I mean, I'm sure it does happen. I'm sure
it does happen. But
I guarantee you, like, he's probably more.
He walked it back.
I mean, it's not that he walked it back. I don't think
literally walked everything back and said, I'm like a fiery tempered person.
And I understand.
No, but like,
I get it.
But you can't call that walking back when you're presented with a new idea. That's not like,
Yeah, well, formulating his opinion.
It would be walking it back doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It could be a good thing.
Well, in the context you're using it, I would say you're trying to.
He's a pussy. You should have told Michael Alice.
I love Tim Pool. Tim Pool's my #1 news source.
I mean, he is. I mean, I use Tim Pool more like Steven Crowder and all those guys. Like, nothing against them.
All right. Dan's a fucking anarchist. Dan likes fucking the Young Turks.
No, they're not anarchists. What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, they are.
They're probably
black clad armor.
If anything, you probably consider them anarcho-capitalists or anarcho-communists or something to that effect. Not capitalists, but they're anarcho-socialists or something.
I think they're just like the modern version of a progressive outlet. Except they're just like a corporate version of it. They're just like a watered-down version of it. Yeah. They're capitalistic. I mean, Cenk Uyghur's capitalistic. But anyways, all that happened with the YouTube channel, and so 7 days before you'd be able to. I can't even upload things in the background because the way I found out was that I tried to upload the Scanner Darkly review, and it was like, you are not allowed to upload anything. I was like, what? Why? So, but it's I don't know. It's weird just because it's an unlisted video. So it wasn't for public consumption. Like, nobody ever saw it on YouTube. That
just shows you that they review and monitor every video uploaded.
Well, how did they get notified? Well, that's what I'm saying. So,
it's like I said, the algorithm obviously caught it.
It's put in the system as soon as you upload it, right?
Caught the video. Caught the fact that we were watching Buck Breaking. Because Tariq Nasheed probably uploaded his copyright to YouTube.
So
if you're not, I mean, clearly, honestly, like, we're under fair use because we're being transformative for, I would say, like 90% of the video. But YouTube doesn't care about that.
So hypothetically, if you were a billionaire, could you take them to court and win?
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but like, so
Sean, you're not doing what you need to be doing. You need to stand up to the man.
No, but the thing is, like, I mean, I was saying some pretty egregious shit, like some pretty awful shit. So I think it would be more of the language that I use.
What do you mean? It's freedom of speech.
Ryan, this is what are you talking about, dude?
Dude, I got a warning.
I know, but if you wanted to, you could take it there. If you were a billionaire.
I got a warning. We got a warning for when I did.
Tell that to Trump.
When I watched those Nickelodeon trans parade videos.
That's right.
And I didn't even say anything that crazy. Like I walk a pretty fine line because I'm thinking if it's not funny,
Sean, that's pretty weird.
If it's not funny, then I probably won't go there. I'll go there for a joke, say something like really off color. But if it doesn't present itself, I'm not just like, wow, fucking trannies. Like I'm not. That's not my style. But
yeah. Well, I did. I think I kept calling them faggots. I think is what because this movie is a. I said that probably at least 50 times at least in those 4 hours.
So this buck got broken by the system.
Well, the thing is, man,
Greek was right.
It is kind of an alarming, not alarming, but it's like, well, it's kind of weird.
No, it's weird because it was unlisted. But
if you have that opinion, you're a fucking bigot or whatever. You know what I mean? If you're like trying to be reasonable and think through it, you're a bigot.
These people in this documentary are like they believe
oh
in
my
like
God.
the Kemetic religion.
Let's not talk about it because let's not get
go to Odyssey.
Anyways, this platform, YouTube, things shit like that, it is killing itself. It is no longer like a place where you can have conversations. We talk about this all the time. People like Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, Steven Crowder, whatever. You have to walk such a fine line that it's like so absurd at this point. Like, because it's so arbitrary and it's so relative. Like, what does it mean to be offensive? What does it mean to harass somebody? Just talking about somebody? Like, you got a 330 sub channel, and you're worried about me harassing Tariq Nasheed? Like, give me a break.
Wouldn't it be good just to let YouTube die in these mass media platforms? So, like, because you could support creators directly. You know what I mean? Like Tim Pool starting his own thing, Steven Crowder, The Daily Wire. They all are kind of branching out. It's kind of like almost retro. Like, wasn't that more of a rise in the early internet days?
It's
like
very retro. I mean, that's what like even James Rolfe, like the Cinemassacre video game nerd.
Yeah,
I think he might still to this day. I'm not sure.
He does,
but he has all this stuff on his own servers.
Yeah.
Like he had his own video player, all that stuff. Mike Redbar for Red Bar Radio. It's the same thing. It's not. It's just going to become like television. It's like network television now, and it just sucks. It's lame. It sucks the entire life, the fun, the excitement out of YouTube. It's so fucking boring now.
And then know what's going to happen? These like more individual funded websites are going to get big TV personalities too, and then they're going to crash. The new hip mass media platforms are going to come out. We're fucking cool, freedom of speech, man.
As soon as you like introduce this kind of money into the situation, like I don't know.
Fucking China.
I was just gonna say I don't think you guys even realize like YouTube is nothing. Amazon Web Services colluded with Apple to remove Parler.
I know.
We're talking. Yeah, they're going to come for these websites. They're going to remove that if you're not like Gab that has its own independent servers and like all this stuff. But even then, you can still be cut off. You can still be cut off from the internet.
But what's stopping somebody from starting their own? I don't know what Amazon.
What internet?
Yeah.
Well, dude,
because they have their own.
It's the dumb libertarian argument with just like, you don't like this internet, just start your own, dude. You don't like these roads,
but
build your own.
There will be like if Elon Musk wanted to invest money into something like that, or even just privately fund it behind the scenes.
That guy ain't gonna save you. He's not your savior.
I'm not expecting. I hate Elon Musk. He's a fucking shill. He's a bastard.
He's a millionaire fuckboy. Fuck with my Bitcoin.
Price of Bitcoin. That's fine. That's good. So honestly, he's just helping everybody out. You just gotta be smart enough to look at it.
You're gonna see the 4D chess that's going on.
All right, well, let's talk about me. So what I did today. You guys are too serious. Fucking talking about fucking predators, crazy shit. What I did today, I read a book for the first time, probably since senior year of high school. I finished the book, and I was like fucking so excited about it.
It's a proud day. You got to that last line, you're like, God damn, this is...
I was like, fucking 10 pages. Holy shit, dude. It's like, even though it was like good reading, the last 10 pages, I was just like, fuck, dude.
What book did you read? What book?
I read the first book of the Witcher series.
Oh.
But it's actually not even the first book. It's like a series of short stories. Kind of introduces you to all like the universe's characters.
Mm-hmm.
So like the first season, kind of.
No, well, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit, because they don't introduce Ciri in the Last Wish, it's called, but And it's interesting what they try to do with the TV show. And I was like rewatching it. I'm just like, I don't know why they could have like literally taken what was in the book and put it on the screen, because it's not a lot of information. So I don't know why people feel like they need to take these great creative directions. But I understand you got to weave in all the characters because.
I think what you're maybe failing to at least recognize is that they're probably already had a couple seasons planned, written out.
No, I understand.
There's obviously a greater.
You got to work around the characters. It's more important. I'd rather have a show that establishes the characters,
yes,
motives, and get to know them before like shit starts popping off. I mean, Game of Thrones. That's what Game of Thrones was for like fucking 2 seasons. Just getting to know. But I don't know. I read the book, and then.
What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the book. So I watched on Netflix or Amazon Prime the Mark Twain like claymation thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
Yeah, with the devil and the kids. And
yeah, it's an hour and a half thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn was the first great American novel.
Well, I guess for
historically, historically, it's revered as the first great American novel.
Like American centric, like in America, placed in America.
Sure.
Is that what you mean?
I don't know.
Well, because we were a young country. We are such a young country.
Yeah, it was like in the 1860s, so the country wasn't even 100 years old. That's pretty young.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it was probably
progressed a great deal in that 100 years.
It probably was world recognition of the first great American novel that was worldwide.
Hold on, boys. I wouldn't be talking about no Huckleberry Finn on this here YouTube.
Well, it's so funny because Mark Twain leaves a warning at the beginning of the book.
What's his friend's name, Ryan?
It's like Jim.
James?
It's
okay.
Jim.
All right.
Hey, yeah, so the premise is Huckleberry Finn and Jim, they go on an adventure. I read the first 20 pages and I was shocked at how funny it was.
Oh, yeah, it's a great book. It's a great book.
But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I've been reading a lot.
So you're educated now. You're an enlightened man.
I basically went to college again.
Yeah, he found out he was going to be a dad, and he was like, "Man, I gotta start reading books.
Got to start reading my racist history. Get caught up in my white ethno-nationalism, so I can ensure that my white supremacy carries into the next generation."
Huckleberry Finn is just a creature of his time. Okay, he's a good soul. He's a good heart.
Mark Twain is.
Mark Twain was considered progressive.
Well, yes, he is. He was. Well, he's critical of racism. That's
Yeah, he wrote a lot about. If you read his aphorisms and just the little writings he did in papers and stuff, he was always talking about slavery.
Like is that like Afrocentric views or something? Like
no, aphorism? That's like real progress.
No, I understand. I was just it is no. This is the myth, the mythology of racism in America is that it's like there was.
Here we go. Here we fucking go, dude.
No, like let me explain something. Like what I'm saying is the mythology of at least saying that there weren't good people in America that advocated against slavery, advocated for equal rights was always there, and it took time to get there. It just took time. And
yeah, the abolitionist movement was alive and well long before the abolishment of slavery. It came over when the first settlers came over because they were Christians and they didn't believe in that. A lot of them, anyways. Large sects of them were like that. Even some places, you couldn't even have slaves because they outlawed it. They banned it. But that's more of the thing in the more past couple of years. Even when I went to college most recently, I had to take like a basic American history course.
Yeah.
Just as to get a credit for it, and they still taught about the abolitionist movement and all that stuff.
I got a question.
But in terms of what's going on right now, I don't know.
In the universities today in 2021, obviously they talk about Mark Twain when they're talking about American literature, right? They're mentioning him.
Depends on the class you take.
Do you think, and this is just a stupid question, but do you think more of a percentage of the professors have a negative light on how they view Mark Twain versus a positive light?
Yes.
I think it depends.
Do you really think so? Because whether you're liberal or not, you can still respect and see. Okay,
not trying to put generalizations out there, but if a majority especially in like sociology and the arts.
Yeah, but that's
like,
English.
The arts, yes.
That's not sociology.
The arts.
Though.
I
got you.
What are you talking? Okay,
Humanities?
listen. Why you just listen to me? Why are you even saying anything? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not even finished. So you're talking about like the arts and like sociology, which is greatly influential on the arts, and they do not view black people as equals. They view black people as Ryan. Stop. They view black people as lesser than. So they view Mark Twain as a person who is white, who is privileged, and who is using his privilege to create a narrative of back then of some white supremacist utopia, like, where blacks and everything, like, so because it was his white supremacy. I guarantee you, man.
I know, but a lot of professors are like Jordan Peterson and Brett Weinstein. I'm serious. I just graduated. I literally just graduated college.
Yeah, and your anecdotal experience. I mean, like, but like, how many? But you weren't in the arts though.
What is everything else? That's all anecdotal too. So what's the point? Why can't we compare the two?
Because the data proves it, man. The
data
are out there.
There's no data that's
out there. When you're talking in the arts, where like
I do
3 or 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 like sociologists in this, or not, I think it might be more than that, are Marxists.
English professors.
English professors are definitely, yes, Ryan. I got asked to do a fucking paper on my white privilege in Alabama in English lit.
Well, that's anecdotal.
It's still like if it's happening now,
you can't use it.
But Dan, I have the data to show that I'm right. I got the data.
Okay.
No, I don't know if it's as
I understand what you're saying.
I think there is like it's a higher level thing that gets into curriculums and stuff. I'm not sure if it's trickled down to everybody that would ever teach Huckleberry Finn or anything else Mark Twain wrote. I mean, when I grew up, you read Huckleberry Finn in like 4th or 5th grade.
I read Tom Sawyer in 7th grade.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you read those things. So a lot of times I don't even think they really do a lot of that stuff unless you specifically get into like a very tailored elective where you would even come across those anymore. I mean, this has been the whole debate about, what's the one called? To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yep, that was removed.
I don't know if they've been removed, but they were trying to. Also, Huckleberry Finn was part of that conversation a few years before that. Because you're talking about I think it was a school in Virginia.
But a bunch of English professors came to the defense of those novels.
They did, yeah. No, a lot
like
of
a pretty significant amount, right? I'm not wrong. It was like a small little movement on the internet. Just
Well, just like anything, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how actually pervasive it is yet. I think at some point, yeah, it will be. But that's what the whole discussion is now about.
That sucks, dude.
Critical race theory and stuff is just like, they could be like, well, we don't teach this stuff. It's only at collegiate level, et cetera, et cetera. You'd be like, yeah, but we're talking about 10 years from now. Like, you got to stop it now. Like, later.
It's a shame because those books have good messages. Like, the messaging is very positive.
Yeah, of course. 100%.
So, it's kind of sad that kids won't. I wonder what they're going to read instead.
They're going to read,
yeah, what do you think? What replaces?
My penis is a vagina. The feminine penis.
Look at Dan.
What?
Look at. You look like listening. The elf from Lord of the Rings.
Thank you.
The elf?
The fucking guy, Mr. Anderson, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, Elrond.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Just slick your hair back and like put grease all in it and slick it back.
Hey, No, but I think I disagree with you guys completely. But like as far as saying that,
I don't even disagree with you. I think it's more nuanced than that. I'm sorry, but you're misinterpreting what we're saying because I don't even disagree with you. I just disagree to the degree.
To the degree you are okay. It has infected our sciences so deeply, our medical system, our institutions at such a degree, it cannot be ignored. Because you got like 100 professors out of 100,000 that are coming to the defense of Mark Twain or whatever. Like we're talking.
Hold on. I think you have it inverted though. I think there are the people at the top, those minority people that build these curriculums, and that like institutes this stuff. they're the ones that are the ones doing it, and then everybody else is reacting to it on the bottom. Some people agree with it, a lot of people don't. I don't think that like the full conversation has been had, but I do think it's a problem, obviously, that it's being implemented, period. Like, I totally agree with you there, but I don't know how pervasive it is in terms of like the entirety of academia, like everybody being.
How did we get where we are today?
What do you mean?
Mass indoctrination of our children and youth. It's the same thing they did in Maoist China. Same thing.
I mean, yeah, I guess kind of.
Who started the color revolution?
What country doesn't indoctrinate their youth?
Well, that's not how Lenin came to power and rose to power and prominence. It was a working class like type of thing. But no, the color revolution was specifically started by college students and academia. That's where it was born from. And Mao, when he went to Russia and he like met all these guys, he brought back this literature. He was doing speeches at colleges, and then he started getting professors and these arts, the people from the arts and the sociologists. They were the ones that pushed this shit, and then it created what we know today as the modern Communist Chinese Party. Lenin had to escape Russia. He was like in Germany for a while, like fucking hanging out, writing the communist newspaper and blah blah blah. Like, it was a different type of revolution. And the first revolution of Russia was even a violent revolution.
What was it called? The
What?
revolution. Mao's revolution. What was it called?
The color revolution.
Was it color?
Color, or the red. I think there's a couple names, but I've heard the color revolution. I've
I thought it
heard.
was something else.
I've heard
I
it
could be wrong.
been labeled.
So is that what's happening in America, Dan? Is that the diagnosis?
That's the intention. Yes, absolutely. It's infected every infrastructure, every level of our government, our military.
But
it's everywhere.
You don't think that there is at least? I mean, there is a significant backlash to it just for like personalities on the internet, as far as like Jordan Peterson's and the Weinstein. I don't know. Is it Weinstein or Weinstein?
Weinstein. I don't know.
Like those people are very culturally significant and popular. Like name a rival on the opposite side of that.
Well, it's like, okay, it's like let's look what happened earlier with someone like Cole Beasley, right? So Cole Beasley
not very well spoken, not very well typed. He should have fucking sat down with somebody.
No, it was. I thought it. I don't know what you're saying. What do you mean? Why do you think it was ill?
It just wasn't. It just seemed like he was like right. I'm not criticizing him because like I get it, dude. Like I understand. I'm just saying it wasn't very coherent. It was just like very emotional.
Yeah, well, I think what it shows is, this is it right here. I mean, I don't know if Sean, you want to read that or?
Yeah, I'll read it. Look, I'm gonna have to live my one life like I want to, regardless. Everyone, hi, I'm Cole Beasley, and I'm not vaccinated. I will be outside doing what I do. I'll be out in public.
Stupid
already, if you're scared of me, then steer clear or get vaccinated. Point blank. Period. I may die of COVID, but I'd rather die actually living. I have family members whose days are numbered. If they want to come see me and stay at my house, then they are coming regardless of protocol.
You see what I'm saying?
What, like that it's like a little clumsily written? Sure, I mean, it just
doesn't feel emotional.
It's a feel emotional.
I'm not that that's like a bad thing, but I don't know.
He's putting it on Front Street. As he goes on to say, like, he just wants to play football. He feels like you should do what's best for you, and I'll do what's best for me. But he also makes the point that he is financially insulated, and this is something he feels comfortable doing. So, like, whatever, that's fine. Like, if he wants to do that, that's fine. He's putting it out on Front Street. He's saying what he has to say, and he has every right to do that.
Comments are so negative. I'm shocked.
Most of them. But you're not going to take meds for a leg that isn't broken, but wear a helmet and
like,
pads for bones that aren't broken? Well, because he says something about...
I'm not going to take meds for a leg that isn't broken, basically.
Yeah.
He's not going to do preventatives on something you can't control. Right?
Everybody was like hyper literal because it was just easy to do. It's obviously it's like a metaphor, like a parallel. It's not a direct parallel.
Yeah, they're being like very belittling.
Hey, Cole, quick question. Do you wear a seatbelt, or would you rather not address a car crash that hasn't happened?
That's my point. That I understand and I agree with the sentiment of his message, like what he posted. It's just like it was so. I don't know. I wish it was just like a solid A+.
No, well, because I think that's just you have to go after the
I
context.
know
of
I got to temper my expectations. I get it. I understand.
But he's like, we all know that these college football players really don't get a fucking degree. They're fucking stupid. Like they don't really, like you know what I mean?
Proved it.
Well, you
know
don't have to go to college
thing?
and have a
I don't
degree to
think
be
so.
intelligent.
Well,
College,
what I'm
you
saying,
said
what
it,
I'm saying
college
is like you
fucking
should not
hard.
be looking to athletes to be some austere scholar. Okay, like I don't know what you're expecting. He plays football. He makes millions of dollars,
His brain
and he
damage.
just and I think it's actually better than having some weird press statement from like his management or
That's
agent.
not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Well, like that's who he is, though. Like I respect it.
It's a more well-constructed tweet. That's all. That's all.
I think it was pretty well constructed. I don't really see an issue with it. I didn't
don't-
read it and go,
okay,
wow,
you-
this guy's fucking stupid. I just didn't.
You're like taking what I say and like put it into 100. I'm just saying I agree with what he's saying, and I'm glad he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We agree.
I hear you. I personally think I didn't. When I read it, I didn't go.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, I was
okay.
like, oh, this isn't. I just didn't see that personally.
It's not important. It's not important.
I guess I didn't have expectations of what I thought.
Maybe I'm just an asshole. I don't know.
Maybe.
You know, when Dan shared this with me, I had no idea who it was. So
Yeah,
I actually read it first. I was like, oh, he's a football. Okay, who does he play for? And then I saw the Buffalo Bills. I was like, wide receiver. I was like, figures. This guy's a fucking loser. Get to the Super Bowl.
Actually,
okay, buddy. Keep dreaming.
The best comment I saw was like, yeah, you're definitely right because the Bills already don't have a shot. Like that's
a pretty good. That's a solid.
It was a pretty good zinger. It was a good zinger. You're like
a solid one. At least it's better than like, well, you don't wear seatbelts, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's. I think Cole Beasley breaking the paradigm shift.
He's gonna come to the
and,
Patriots.
Like ESPN's attacking him, Fox people, like Marcus Spears, like, hey man, I know you, Cole, like you're my boy or whatever, but this ain't
Not
it.
anymore.
You know,
not anymore, dude. Now they're enemies.
Well, it's just something that I think him actually vocalizing as a celebrity, saying I will not follow your edicts, go against like what he believes to be true himself, and people are going like, well, misinformation. You shouldn't make decisions based off of misinformation, and I just go, who the fuck are you to say that it's what he knows is misinformation?
But I mean, he didn't make any statement about the efficacy or whether it's bad or good or whatever. He didn't. Right. He just said, "I'm not doing it."
Yeah,
and
so is nobody else.
It should
so
be.
Is nobody else.
But it shouldn't be a big deal. It should just be like, if you feel like you should get the vaccine, get it, and you'll be fine.
Absolutely.
You'll be protected.
Well, speaking of vaccines,
I die in 10 years.
I thought this would be really funny.
Growing in your body.
I thought this was really funny.
Oh my god, that would get taken down. 100%.
Well, listen, I didn't make the vaccine. You blame the people that made it. They're the ones who did this.
The Patriots should sign them for $1.
$1. Or how much is the cost of a vaccine shot? That would be really funny. Like $150. But
the team goal.
Speaking of vaccines, which I think is pretty funny, Bruce Springsteen is putting on a concert. I think July 10th or something. It's like 5 days in a row. And if you're not vaccinated, you can't go. Okay, basically they won't let you go.
Where is it?
But New York. But listen. But if you got the AstraZeneca vaccine, you still can't go.
Is it the English one?
Yeah, this is what everybody was talking
making
about.
Deals. That's
everybody
weird.
Everybody was talking about a couple months ago. Like we're gonna have like this weird class system about vaccinated people and unvaccinated, and even within the vaccinated people, because they're like, well, Moderna, Pfizer, J&J. I've heard that like a month ago about the Johnson & Johnson one, because it only has a 60% effectiveness rating or whatever. So
the reason
this is the first public thing. Yeah.
The reason why I read up on it is because it's not FDA approved, so they won't allow I thought
none of them were.
No, all of them. Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson are.
It was
FDA
like an expedited FDA.
Yes.
Approval,
but I believe they've moved out of they've moved out of the emergency use, I believe, and they are officially approved. So they're not allowing, and this is the weird thing. So now you went out and got your vaccine, and you got the AstraZeneca because it was available in your area, and now they're saying you can't come in because it's not FDA approved. But
those aren't our guys.
So from what I've heard is that you should not be going out and trying to get more than one vaccine. You shouldn't be mixing the two.
Yeah,
I've heard.
Unless you really love the boss.
I think you know what I think's the most gross thing about that shit is the whole lottery system in California. Is like
they're doing them
so
all
in
over.
debt. California is so in debt. Like
No, they just had the largest. What are you talking about? They had the largest GDP in the country.
Well, because they're the largest population, and they have like all the industry over there.
Well, they have the
all the
Amazon.
Tech, that's fucking
Google,
huge,
yeah.
bro. That's
Yeah, so
I know. They're not broke, dude. Technically, I don't think.
What?
I don't think they're broke. I don't think. Well, broke. You know.
Well, only because of those companies are in that state. That's why if they left, then they.
Yeah, they have a lot of industry. Yeah, it would be bad.
I guess you could say that about a lot of things.
Yeah. If industry moves away from anywhere, it's going to affect everything. So, I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy though.
But yeah, I was saying the gross thing is about get vaccinated and win $500 million or whatever it is, 10 million.
It was
like,
$1 million.
I think
bucks,
it was like there was 3 things. I think it was like 20 million, 5 million, 1 million, and then
cash prizes.
I mean,
Cash
honestly,
prizes
not a
after
bad fucking.
Hey, dude, it's better than Bill de Blasio up in New York City. He's like, hey, man, we'll give you some fucking Shake Shack.
Yeah, shake it.
Like,
whatever.
literally, he did a fucking commercial, or he did a presser where he's like eating Shake Shack, is like eating a burger, and he's like, a vaccination never tasted so good.
New York City's becoming fucking Gotham.
He's like, oh, because he's like, all the poors are gonna love this. The poors
Honestly,
are gonna love this.
Well, how long do you get Shake Shack for?
No, you get 1 meal.
Oh wow!
You get like an $8 meal.
I had a chance to win Arby's for a full year, but I lost. And you telling me New York can't fucking even give somebody a year's worth of fucking Chick-fil-A or McDonald's?
Because everybody that gets the vaccine gets a free meal. So if you go in and you get and you on the receiving your second shot, you get a burger and fries.
Well, I guess it's a happy coincidence if you want to get a vaccine, you get a fucking burger and a shake.
Shit, man, I didn't know. Oh,
hey, man, I'm just doing my part. I'm really glad I get that burger and shake.
I'm going right there now, Mr. de Blasio. Right now, over to the Shake Shack.
Look at Danny's going down his list. He's like, they got off topic. They're not talking about the world's burning.
No. What? This is all. I fucking hate the Washington Post.
He's looking at pictures of rashes.
he's just like trying to get angry by looking at shit that pisses him off.
Hey, and you know what? Another thing, okay? Fuck these
This
guys,
is so
man.
disingenuous. I can't believe they would put this out here. No, because I was just trying to pull up an article for something I wanted to talk about, and it's really an important subject, and I just can't believe they. This is insane. It's
What
2
did they
paragraphs. So did you listen to the video I sent you about the Florida
5-minute video?
The Florida congressman, Sean?
Yeah, the one you sent, Benny Johnson one.
Yeah, the one about the hit squad and all this weird stuff.
Yeah. In newly released secret recordings, Florida Republican running for Congress William Braddock threatens to send Russian and Ukrainian hit squad after Republican primary opponent Real Anna Polina to make her disappear.
So this is fucking crazy. This is the Washington Post. This is the I'm not even kidding. This is. Imagine. I cannot believe this is not like a really. Florida Republican allegedly boasted Russian-Ukrainian hit squad could disappear rival, right? And it's like a Florida GOP congressional candidate. Florida. Why would you not name
FBI operative.
No, they don't even name him. Was recently secretly recorded threatening Republican rival, naming Anna Paulina Luna with a Russian-Ukrainian hit squad that would blah, blah, blah. This is according to a recording obtained by Politico that comes from a conservative activist who says she taped her conversation with, I lied, they do say his name, William Braddock, over the concerns, but his unhinged dislike of his competitor.
But his
I
name
missed
should
his
be
name.
in the headline.
No, but you would think 2 paragraphs dedicated to a
You should go to prison.
to a congressional candidate talking about conspiracy to commit murder, collusion with foreign agents to assassinate a political adversary.
The treason?
I don't know. It's probably, I don't
little treasony.
Listen,
you're in that
In
realm.
the private security economy, when the police are abolished, this is how it's going to be. He's just ready. He's ready. He says, "Listen, I got the money, I got the resources, I got those dudes from fucking Russia, baby."
Oh, he's talking about Bitcoin. He's like, I got a fuck ton of Bitcoin. I'm fine. Because that's how he's gonna pay these.
Probably right.
I would love if he was just dropping like N words, like but with A.
Well,
a hard R. He's
like Hunter
I got
Biden.
Bitcoin, baby. Yeah.
So what? So this woman who reported it or recorded it is a conservative.
Yeah,
they're
she's
calling her an
challenger,
activist,
right? She a challenger? She?
No, I think she just works in the.
She's just a conservative like pundit. She works in the
Yeah.
not a pundit, but she works in like the party or something.
It says what she is.
No, she's a Republican primary opponent.
Yeah, that's what he's talking. No, did you watch the video? It's she's talking to the guy on the phone, and he's thinking about Anna Paulina, who is the person he's talking about.
I think she's called a conservative activist.
Yeah, so okay, yeah, so you're talking about the person. I got confused. I thought you were talking about the person he was talking about.
We're talking about the rat.
Okay, the rat.
We're talking about the lead.
Now this is language I understand.
Well, and the thing that really
Crazy, though.
It annoys me, and this is really smart by this conservative person, because they knew if they went to the Blaze or if they went to any right-wing Daily Wire or something, they would have been, who cares? But you go to Politico, who is one of the largest media agencies involved with politics and news, and no one's reporting on this. I see that, like, when I looked it up, it's The Guardian, it's like, Washington Post, 2 paragraphs, the Political article.
Maybe we're getting a sneak peek at a Project Veritas video.
But you're just like...
James O'Keefe is somewhere very upset right now.
Oh, I would be kind of furious. But this is...
you send these things to me.
But this is this is kind of weird. So is this guy blowing smoke up this chick's ass?
Probably a little. I mean, I don't know. What if he is? What if he's just like a psychopath? Like he's just.
Or what if he was
delusional?
Wait, okay. Is there a possibility that he's just fucking joking? I mean, that's like if I was to make a joke, be like, man, I'm gonna send a Russian hit squad after that bitch.
5-minute joke, Sean. It's way too long.
And also, he's like, listen, we're gonna. I got no. He does. He goes. He's like, a few days before the primary, we're gonna do some.
Yeah, he does detail.
And if she's ahead of me, she's gonna get disappeared. That's what he
said. That could be a joke.
All right, I'm done talking about that. You think? Come on.
I know. I'm just saying. If you're having a casual conversation with somebody that you don't know you're being recorded. Listen, did that cannibal, the cop that was talking about eating his wife on the internet, did he do anything wrong, really, Dan? No, he did not, because he never ate his wife.
Yeah, but there's a difference between
that is
fantasy and then conspiracy to commit murder. He's talking about how he's colluding with foreign agents, and if it's a joke. I mean, my God, he literally says, he literally says on the video, I'm not fucking joking. He says that. He literally says, I'm not fucking joking. I'm actually kind of scared. He's like, this is kind of crazy. He goes, but I have these guys ready to roll. Like, it's fucking insane.
He's like, ask my ex-wife. Oh, sorry, trick question.
Yeah. FBI, I'm kidding.
I ate her.
Well, I just can't believe it, man. I couldn't believe that this should be top trending, #1 on Twitter, #1 everywhere. This is such a story.
Why isn't it though? Like, I don't understand, because it's between conservatives.
See how many views it has.
I mean,
how many views is it?
Oh, the one on Twitter.
Yeah, that's Benny. No, Benny's one of the biggest guys.
Yeah, only has 55,000 views. But what I'm saying is,
yeah, that's crazy.
Wouldn't they be incentivized, because this is between 2 GOP members, to blast this story?
Did Tim Pool report on it?
But this is my no. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he even knows about it. That's how suppressed.
And let him know. Scream.
I tagged him. I did what I could. But well, did you not see? Okay, this is my theory. My small theory is. The William Braddock is kind of more your traditional rhino guy, right? Like old school Republican Party, neocon, kind of want to go fight wars, that type of guy. Using Trump as he's like, oh, I support Trump, but he really doesn't. Like he's very old school Republican. Alina Paula voted for Obama twice, kind of like I would say, born again conservative or something. I don't know. She left the left, and she ended up becoming conservative. She was pro-choice, now she's
So she's
pro-life.
a moderate conservative. Though.
Which he says this all in this video. He says this about her. So what I think is there is the powers that be would rather have someone that like William Braddock in charge and in control. That they, this is.
Who are these powers you speak?
The media, because she's an American First candidate. She is an American First centric. She's a Trump MAGA type of.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. She used to be a liberal lefty that.
Those are the best type of conservatives. You know what I mean?
Because they're awake and they're fresh and they have new ideas and they actually want to change things, It's pretty crazy. It's just, I don't understand how this is not the largest story on the planet. This is insane. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't.
Unless when did the story break?
It was like 2 days ago.
17th. Yeah, it should have been picked up by now on the news.
Tucker Carlson, what are you doing, my man?
We're all in on it, dude. He's eating cicadas.
Yeah, but if he did call it the FBI though. You think he would report on this?
There's something going on here, man. Like that to me that's easy picking.
Man, we got to get you on Fox News.
They should get me on Fox
Dan,
News.
if I found out a way to get you on the Young Turks tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, would you do it?
I would do it.
Unprepared, no idea what's gonna happen.
No idea. No, because I'll tell you this much. So I don't know if you guys know about Crystal Ball and Saga and Janetti, how they left the Hill and now they have Breaking
They left the Hill.
Yeah, they're on their own show called Breaking Points. It's actually blown up. It's huge. It's it's exploding. They less than 30 days, and they started a new YouTube channel, and it's already over 300,000 subs in a month.
So they've only been together in this new business, I guess you could call it, for 30 days.
I would say.
Weren't they just on Joe Rogan?
Yes, they just did an episode for their show with Joe Rogan and a Joe Rogan episode.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, but Crystal Ball had kind of stepped out first and started working with Kyle Kalinske.
Yep, Kyle and friends.
Crystal and Kyle and Friends, or whatever the hell it's called. And so they were kind of getting ready to do this. They were primed to do it, and then apparently it was a contentious ending with The Hill. But I don't know.
I guess I
don't really care. I don't care for them, so I don't really pay attention to them very much.
This is something I was crazy. So I don't know what happened, but I just remembered. I was like, oh yeah, I kind of want to watch that time that Crystal Ball and Candace Owens got into it on her show. I just had this inkling, and Candace, I think once women have babies, they should not be in politics or should not be allowed to work. It's just a belief of mine because she's watched.
It's one of these things.
No, but she actually was very poised. It was really impressive. And she destroyed her. Candace Owens. She destroyed her. She goes
who destroyed? Candace Owens destroyed her?
Yes, Candace Owens destroys Crystal Ball.
Just because you have a hard-on for Candace Owens.
I just talk shit about her. What are you talking about?
But I just know you, and I know you got a fucking
I like black
hard-on
chicks. What do you got? You're a racist?
Oh, really?
I want to fuck her and call her Jim.
She's married. It's just a married woman.
Yeah.
But trade up.
But anyway, so she destroys her, and then I started going down the rabbit hole and stuff, and there was a video with Crystal Ball and on Tucker Carlson, and I was like, I've never seen this video before. So I put it on, and it's 4 years old, and it's just right in the middle of Russia stuff, Mueller investigation, Michael Flynn, this is all chaos and everything, and she is advocating to impeach the president.
Well, where is she now?
They obviously are calling out the Russian narrative because they have to. Because they're the.
Is she reasonable?
No, not at all. That's what I'm saying.
So how do they have a good relationship?
Who?
Her and that guy.
Sagar? Sagar's not a real Republican.
Yeah,
he's a quasi-Republican. He's I don't know.
When they used to have Hannity and Combs. So it's before your time. Sean Hannity. This other guy named Combs. No, it was just Hannity and Combs.
It was First Take on ESPN.
That was the whole point. It was we got a conservative guy, and then we got this liberal progressive cuck.
Not really liberal progressive.
Looks like a vampire. I don't know. The Crystal Ball and that other dude, I can never remember his name, Kyle Kalinske. I don't even bother anymore.
And this pissed me off about Joe Rogan. Is like
He's a chameleon, but it's a trait. That's
it's
his
not
art,
a bad,
man.
It's not a bad thing, no. But when he has them on, like he does, there's no pushback. There's like, and I agree, but like I hear them saying objectively false things. Like I hear it, and I'm like, why? Maybe Joe doesn't know. So Joe's not an all-knowing being. But I was like, come on, man.
But is it like objectively false things that you would think Joe Rogan would know?
Yeah. Like talking about violence in the cities and gun laws and gun crime and stuff. And
because he moved. Why did he leave L.A.?
Yeah, well, because he criticizes L.A., but because Crystal's kind of like this Noam Chomsky lefty, like this. I'm a lefty, but I'm a critical thinking lefty, and I can like no, she's full of shit. Dude. I've been digging through her shit, and I'm like, oh my god, like this lady, and it's not that people can't change. A day. But no, I mean, I probably watched like 6 hours of her shit today.
Oh my
like
god,
6 hours. Like I was
primed.
I was looking into it, but I was just shocked. And not that people can't
gasoline.
change their opinions or whatever. I get it, but they're gonna be like the Young Turks in 5 years. Mark my words.
Oh, him
they're
too?
Like, huh?
Oh, everything I've heard from him, I thought was like libertarianish.
Who?
Yeah, that's kind of where he comes from. Her co-host
Sagar.
Yeah.
Sagar's a libertarian? No way.
That's where he's leans that way. Like he's kind of amorphous.
Excuse me. I haven't watched 17 hours of his content. So
I've been watching The Hill for years. Like or at least like the last 2 years, I've been kind of more engaging with The Hill because I've found them to be somewhat more reasonable.
You know what you need to watch more?
What?
Linus Tech Tips.
Why?
To get you out of this kerfuffle.
What kerfuffle?
The kerfuffle of fucking the world, Dan. You need to get you know what I mean? You want to fucking look at Windows 11 early?
I don't watch Vines for 3 hours like you. Okay?
No.
Like that's
you
what
love
you
that shit.
Hey,
sorry, you don't like to laugh, buddy. So you don't like to laugh.
No, but
first of all, it's like 45 minutes. It's not 3 hours.
This guy, Sean, you don't know. One night we sat
to
there.
end the night out. We'll watch a couple fucking like memes.
It's like a compilation.
Sean, literally what it turns into is Rocket League. All right, just one more. All right, we just get one more.
Because they're like kind of hypnotic.
No, I don't like them. Like I like doing it with you because
Dan likes fucking cop shooting videos.
Yeah, I do. I really enjoy it. I like watching it.
So apply that to how I feel about watching those videos.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't do it to be like enjoy it. I don't enjoy it.
Remember that one video we watched and we're like, oh shit, fucking sick. Remember that?
Which one? I don't remember that one.
It's probably a lot of them, right?
Hold the hostage.
Oh, when he fucking T-boxed that guy, dropped him. That was a sick shot.
That's a justified kill. If that was a Witcher, fucking all right, I'm going with my day.
Just walk over, piss, and then leave.
I mean, that was intense. Dude fucking somersaults down the stairs. All this.
Yep. Do you remember the one where the guy...
Do you remember the one?
No, you'll know. Because I remember like the one where the cop, like he's running from the cops, he goes into a random house, he goes upstairs, and then it cuts to the cop. It cuts to the cop on the back of the house, and the dude just dives through the window, dude. Like he just, and then he gets like fucking dropped and shot because he had a gun. Which, whatever. We do need to get rid of the police, but whatever.
No, we don't.
All right, well, tell me why. Tell me why you think you need.
I'm not prepared for this conversation.
No, but like your sentiment, your feelings. I don't expect you to be an expert.
I just want there to be something to maintain a sense of order. And your argument's going to be privatized versus state-run. That's the only difference we're talking about. Because if the police followed the same set of, if you could somehow revise whatever the scripture of being police in the United States, essentially. So what the same rules and regulations you'd apply to the private industry and just revolutionize the current state one. I mean, I understand your argument.
Okay. So do you think that state-run healthcare, do you think every state should set up their own healthcare system?
Ooh, that's a tough call.
Like forcing people.
Oh, no, not forcing. Not forcing.
Tell me the difference between forcing authority and law on people, okay, from the state
There's so much
Versus-
more nuance to that.
Why?
Because you
What do
can
you
still allow private.
You still get private
Healthcare.
security and like you get private healthcare, I guess, but I wouldn't say that they're very analogous
How are they not?
because one is about like yourself and your own health, and the other ones are about like society at large.
Protecting you and your family, yeah. And making sure that your family are safe and the welfare of the community, yeah. Like healthcare.
No,
That's the-
not like healthcare at all. Like no insurance provider is gonna jump through a window and shoot me in my house or something, or they're gonna mug me.
But they can not pay your medical bills, or they can have a $5,000 copay, or
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't
not
have insurance, and then you're $150,000 in debt because you had a heart surgery or something.
That's why you
Yeah.
get good insurance.
Yeah, but
Boom.
nobody.
Private insurance.
I don't think
Yeah,
anybody.
that's the way to
I
go.
don't think anybody would suggest that like the current state of the way like the police are run are necessarily ideal.
That's what I'm saying. It needs
There's
to
a lot
be-
of there's a lot of bad stuff, but like
Yeah.
it really requires a community to come together and start going to town halls and doing those kind of things that when
Well-
they talk about police budgets
Yeah.
and where the money's
Okay.
allocated and why it's done this way, and it really does requires effort on the part of the population to make demands of these things
And
But-
kind of keep order in a sense.
Okay.
In a weird way.
Why? And this is an interesting thing that because I've been reading the Anarchist Handbook. Yes, I know. But like I've been reading it, and it does bring up some of these critical points about
Well,
policing and the social contract with police officers that we've
Mhm.
made.
yeah
Okay.
Yeah.
We have said you can strip us of our gun rights and you can limit my authority as an individual, a sovereign person in this state to protect myself.
right?
So you usurp that power to the government, to the state. Okay?
Yeah, but-
and
I'm just saying, like it's just like I said. There's problems. There's serious
Yeah.
problems. but
no, there are, but the question is, should
Those-
the police be an arm of the state? That's the question.
Those-
Should they work for the state or should they work for you?
Those same problems are going to arise in the private industry too.
No, because you can. Okay, it's like this. If
It
you
will. Look what happens
Oh.
with Amazon and all these big other conglomerates in their
Like
own
what?
respective, like Amazon and Google, and how much power they have in the tech world. So if you had privatized military and you were if you were the Walmart of private military, Dan, you ever played Watch Dogs? Okay.
okay, but how would you feel if the government
Literally.
maintained and took control over these resources?
What resources? Corn?
Internet, Google, like they just said, we're taking it. We own it now.
All right. Well, do you think the government should review how much power that these certain companies have and impose regulations?
There's
Rational
arbitrary
regulations, not unreasonable regulations
No,
that
but
will cripple the
these-
company.
what you're not. And this is I'm not saying this to be a dick. I'm really not. But what I think you're failing to understand is these companies would not be as powerful as they are without the assistance from the state, from the
Those
government.
companies would gain that same privy to.
No,
with
they
the federal
wouldn't.
Government. Why
No, they
wouldn't they? Just like anything else, it's going to become a good essentially.
Okay. I don't think when Jeff Bezos gets $10 billion because he did not get a contract.
Right.
Okay, he did not get this Blue Origin space
Right.
contract. Tesla got it, or SpaceX, excuse me.
Right.
And they gave him $10 billion,
Okay.
or they're planning to. I don't know if that's
The
officially
United
happened.
States government gives hundreds of millions of dollars in private units overseas, right?
Yeah, but
Would they
why
invest-
Why are they giving him $10 billion? Answer me that.
because
Well,
it's
wouldn't the
crony-
same-
it's cronyism? It's
Wouldn't the same thing befall to the private military or police?
If the government didn't exist, it wouldn't happen.
No, but you're okay. Now you just jumped ahead. to
fuck,
what
I'm
I'm
saying-
saying.
What
I'm
the
just saying-
fuck?
No,
You
no,
can't
no,
just
no,
pull
I'm
the
not-
government rug up from under me.
No, I'm
But you
I'm
fail
not,
to understand.
Well,
this.
no, what I'm talking about is state control. Okay, the state, and like this just got released today. I can fucking I'm not gonna pull it up, but listen, it just got released. I can pull it up. I can pull it up. I do have the data.
I believe
This
you.
is an
I
official
believe-
government
I believe
document.
you. I believe.
It's
you.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna have it as a reference. Public Health Service material transfer agreement between the Democratic Party and Twitter and Facebook, where they can, the Democratic Party can come in and request them to remove material, and they do it. That is a state actor, and they should not have the same protections as they are no longer a private company.
Yeah.
You start getting involved in political stuff.
That goes back to what Ryan was saying. Like, do we believe in reasonable regulations when it comes to things? Should they be stripped away? Who's going to do it?
That's what I'm saying.
Dan, yeah, that is okay. It's been identified officially, right? So now it can be addressed. Like, everybody knew it was happening.
Just like Wall Street. Just addressed, just like the Fed.
Okay, but you still have not made an argument about why private security firms also would not become giant conglomerate companies that would also get assistance from the federal government.
Because you have a choice.
And state government.
Like a legitimate choice of where you can design, and as a neighbor, let me finish. You asked me to explain, I'm explaining. You asking me to explain, let me explain. If you're talking about creating a social contract with a private company as a neighborhood, as a community, and you say, we're going to pay your police officers X amount, and then we're going to design and deliberate whatever, a retirement plan, all the same things. Healthcare, all this bullshit. Huh?
Sounds like the police.
It is the police.
So why start from zero?
Because the police we can't hold them accountable right now. You can't, what are you going to do? Because they have state power that always lets them get away.
How can you not imagine a scenario where this goes on for a period of time and the same fucking thing happens?
Okay,
how are you going to keep a private company accountable any more than you can right now with the police?
If there's no fucking
if they're big enough.
If there's no
sounds
state,
like a communist.
Hold on. No. If there's no state to disarm you, no state to label what you say is hate speech, no state to coerce you into make them paying you taxes.
That'll happen.
No.
That'll come to light just in communities. Communities will garner these same values, and
I mean, there's
social pressure. And they'll enforce.
They'll demand their private security firms engage in the same behavior. If you are in a neighborhood, no, but it hasn't. We're talking none of this has happened. We're talking hypothetically,
right.
Dan.
Well, it has happened. Anarcho states have existed. They exist now.
Not on any type of scale that we're talking about.
We're talking about
this is like when people talk. This is like when people
talking about Chaz. Dan, are we talking about Chaz?
No, we're talking about 150,000 people in Mexico, like where they don't have a government. They rebelled and they just don't have laws, and they have a very loose structure of government and organization for factories and stuff or whatever, and trade and all those things.
What's that mean? 150,000 people do that? You want 330 million people to do that?
Mexico, like none, because everyone is armed. It is a mandatory thing to be armed. Like they're like, you should be armed, not mandatory.
We got a lot of guns too.
Huh?
We got guns.
You can't just go out and walk around with a gun in America.
Well, some places you can wear it on your hip.
You can't, I mean, some places, but you can't walk in South Carolina right now without a concealed weapons permit.
No, I can't.
That's fucked up. Why is the state restricting your ability to even defend yourself?
That's why Sean says you go to town halls and you demand these things from your local politicians.
A few months ago, I've been enlightened.
What?
Okay? Funny because Sean's like me.
What?
You're advocate. Like what I'm saying is, why would we not want to at least? We know communism doesn't work. We know socialism doesn't work. I'm not even saying the complete destruction of the state. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Sound like a radical.
It is radical. It is a radical idea. And do you know what they also said? That the founding fathers were radical. They said they were radical.
Dan, this is not radical. So
England having a constitutional monarchy because they saw how good it worked. It's just that's what they have. And
so you should get in with your local communities and let your voice be heard.
But beyond that, we were talking about hypotheticals, and my question was, you can't imagine a scenario where this is not a positive thing. That's what I was saying. Like, there are variables here that are obviously, when people talk about these things, they very rarely get into the minutia of it. Now, if somebody's written a book about it, I'm sure they do. I'm just talking about how it's talked about in, like, I don't know, online.
Sean, what stops you from going and shooting your neighbor? What stops?
I'm not getting into this Michael Malice, like, vague shit. Like, yes, everybody has that inside of them. Yes, I understand people self-regulate quite a bit. It does not mean that there is an accountability, like the police are there for an accountability structure for when people don't. Because not everybody does. And it could be a minority of people in the country, but we have deemed them to be dangerous.
Why do you think that the state should have that power and it not be a private entity?
Yeah, but it'll just become. But they'll just. But what's stopping that private entity from accruing just as much power as the state-run entity?
The people.
We have mechanisms.
You're fucking delusional.
What do you mean? How is that delusional? Because if there is no state,
Go on
to
Twitter,
strip
Dan.
you of your rights.
Go on fucking Twitter.
Well, okay, hold on. Just to give the Walmart example, right? Like, so everybody, if we say we started doing this next year, there'd be 100,000 companies, private firms, right? Yeah. Within 100 years, there's 20 of them.
You can invest
Maybe,
in Walmart,
and you're just gonna have less options to shop. You're gonna have less options in terms of the differences between them.
That's not true.
And why isn't it true? Like, why wouldn't it just become just like any other corporate entity at some point?
Tell me how it would. Because if you don't have the state assisting these companies in a limit, that is crony capitalism, and that is not free market. We know we do not live in a true free market economy. It is a crony capitalist structure.
Yeah, but hold on. Even in the natural state of the marketplace, there are people that succeed and fail.
Yes.
Okay. And oftentimes, the failures consolidate or whatever, and then the people that are more successful and make more money, they can do more marketing, they can have more people working for them, they just expand and expand and expand. But we have regulations, well, we do, quote-unquote, regulations in the country to not create monopolies and stuff like that. Untethered from any type of regulatory force, there is no reason why that would not happen.
Okay,
that's what we're saying.
You're saying, so what you're telling me right there is that I'm Kathy Newman and you're Jordan Peterson. What you're saying, what I imagine you're saying is, let me put it that way, as the master would say.
What you don't seem to understand
is it's happening anyway. So you're saying it's happening now. Like, these regulations really don't matter to these companies. New York Times just did a big hit piece on these hedge fund guys, like, where they're basically through loopholes and stuff and like a possibly illegal shit storing. Hold on. But if it's happening already with those things in place, if you took them away, if you took away those regulatory standards, then any company can go after now. There is no way the state can assist them and block companies from getting contracts. There's no contracts to be had by the state where they can choose SpaceX or Tesla. It's who's the most innovative, who's bringing up the best technology.
Sounds like a dream.
Well, it's idealistic and it's from its foundation, but that's how everything starts. But but I think, like, we have over time developed these things. Like I said, I'm not saying that they are used and there isn't any, like, crime or illegal stuff going on or unfairness or whatever, but we have those things in place for reasons, because it's supposed to create an environment of fairness. And oftentimes it does not, but it does create the illusion of it, and that's why people start small businesses, et cetera, and whatever. But, like, I just don't see that being, like, at some point, I feel like the same thing would happen, and potentially it could be worse.
How do you even go from 100 to 0 like that without destroying your... No.
I'm not talking about 100. Well, like, what would change? Everything would function the exact same.
Yeah, but then who would... I have a question. Who would be responsible for handling...
Okay.
Like, if you abolish the police, wouldn't the state and federal government take over?
No, but I'm talking
and put in the military to help them get back down to to a stable. You understand what I'm saying?
We were talking about that earlier. That's what I think the ultimate plan is behind defund the police. I said earlier was that they want to destabilize these regions so drastically that they have to make a federal police force, just like they did after 2001 when they created the Department of Homeland Security, created a whole new like federal agency where
Like the
ICE,
Avengers.
NSA, all this stuff. Like we're talking in the 19 whatever with like the FBI. You know, like we're talking. They use these things as excuses. There will be a federalized, militarized type police, probably in the next 10, 15 years.
Okay, if we're gonna abolish the police, like you're crazy fucking ass.
No, but but you're not looking at it rationally. If you just
then you're fucking crazy, dude.
no, because that would mean abolishment of the FBI, the ATF, ICE,
Yes,
everything.
Why?
And then you hire private.
Agree.
So look at what Texas is doing. Texas right now is acting as an anarcho state. It's saying, fuck you, we're building our own border wall, and guess what? Florida's acting outside the realm. They're acting in an anarchist form where they're sending police officers from Florida to go guard and to go do border patrol. Like this is how it would
Yeah,
work.
they're protecting the American border. They don't have those. They're not on.
And also, there's mechanisms already by which we could do that. Any state can engage in that same kind of behavior.
But didn't local police?
We've talked about
sheriff's
this
department. Haven't they already contributed into protecting the border? Those local communities on the border don't, like the sheriff's departments and the police departments. Don't you think they contributed a little bit of resources just anyway? I'm not saying.
No,
I'm sure they just added a fuck ton of.
They stopped working with ICE and DHS, Border Patrol completely.
Who did?
Like 13 counties.
Oh, and they're gonna defend their own border.
Yes, they're like, get the fuck out.
With their police?
Like, you can't bring detainees here anymore. They're like, you can't bring them to our facilities. Fuck off.
Yeah, and they'll be like, all right, sorry about that. We'll go to the next place.
That's what I'm saying. Is like
shit, we're already in Arizona.
There is an argument. There is a real argument that is the state needed.
Well, isn't that showing the power of a state, like its function? Like it can push back. There can be pushback to these things.
Same thing. It's the same thing on a smaller scale, neighborhood to neighborhood, city to city. Like you could go.
Okay, all right. Like, I got a hot scenario for you. I got a hot private security scenario. Okay.
Okay. I already know warring factions or some bullshit like that. Two of them go to war with each other.
Because that would be ridiculous. But I'm talking about like what if a neighborhood like deemed a particular person too unsavory and they didn't want them in their neighborhood, but their neighborhood had a road that led to the highway. Do they have a right to deny access to the road to the guy?
No. I don't
Why
think
not?
so. Why would they be able to?
Why wouldn't they?
Group of people and they're in charge of the community. They have the most power in that community.
So
and they're paying
you're talking about power.
They're paying mercenaries, and they're paying mercenaries to base essentially a private security firm
to protect their borders.
Protect their borders. Protect their neighborhood. They feel this person is a danger.
Well, I mean, it depends on who you ask. There would be,
well, I'm just saying, like, what would you?
Okay, so you could give me an anecdotal experience that would be a very awful. Yes, why don't I'm sorry that the world is a bad place sometimes, and there are bad people. That happens now. It happens now. That same type of shit.
That's not okay. Hold on. First of all, that's not an answer to that question. I'm just asking for your thoughts.
There is no answer for every single for everything.
You gotta get to something, dude. You gotta do that.
Question.
That's the work of that stuff.
You can't tell me it doesn't happen today.
Dan,
I'm not saying it doesn't, but you're saying that this is a salve for the current problem, and I'm saying
I'm talking about state power. I'm not talking about human beings, Sean. I'm not talking about human beings. I'm talking about state power.
At some point, if you're talking about instituting private security firms and how those private security
I'm not saying institute private security firms. I'm saying that they have the ability to.
That's what will take place.
If every person in the community is armed, and they have militias maybe, or they decide to form their own type of quote-unquote protective services, whatever you want to call it, it could be that.
Or but then you have private militias in every community, and then, like you said, you think it's bullshit. The warring factions, that would happen all the time.
It could happen. It could. Yes.
We go back to living in the Wild West.
Oh, even before that, medieval times.
The Wild West, that's a myth. That wasn't even like a real. That was all Hollywood. That wasn't even.
Yeah, but what about medieval times, Dan? Rivaling towns.
Yes, factions like in the Middle East, like that.
Quality of life. life expectancy
But that's
was great.
not. But
back-
Don't
that's
you- don't-
state sponsored. It's state sponsored.
Don't you just want more power to be given back to the states and the federal government? Isn't that just a good compromise right now? Isn't that a good first step? Let's just return power to the state governments from the federal governments, and the individuals in the state can shape and configure the state and how they see fit.
What's stopping
what you
South
want?
Carolina? What's stopping South Carolina and North Carolina from going to war with each other? They have their own national guards, controlled by their own governors.
Because they're
You
like
know
pretty
that?
cool to they're like pretty cool to each
So,
other. They're
so
not
you're
hostile.
saying, so you're saying like abolish the government so another government can help out,
No, what I'm saying,
except to
no,
be more
what are you talking?
more fractionalized.
There would be no states. There would be no South Carolina. There would be no
Why?
whatever.
Okay, the
Why are you
territory.
going that
There'd be
bad?
Yeah.
there'd be
You already got
territories.
50 fucking slices of pizza. Why are you trying to go put them all
I'm
back
not.
together?
I'm just saying. You haven't even. You're giving me these anecdotal things. It's like, what is stopping us from spiraling? Are you telling me right now the government that spends trillions of dollars on wars, fucking profiteering off
And you're
all
not
this
saying
shit?
anything we disagree with, by the way.
I know, but what
So
is
what do you-
the government doing functionally right now that you need? That's what I'm asking. What do you need them for?
I don't know. Why don't you
To pave my roads. That's a good one.
Why
Pave roads.
can't if why couldn't you hire people to do that?
Well, the state probably hires private,
yeah, they take it off your hands.
and they have their own. They probably do both.
Yeah, because we have developed the systems we have a lot of times is out of our personal
So our
convenience.
government is
It's not about getting
providing
rid of the
for our-
judicial system. It's not. It's about stripping the state of their authority over you.
Yeah, like giving the state rights back from the federal government. That's a good place where we could start.
We could start there, but the thing is,
We don't
the
need to
state-
destroy everything. Not yet.
It's not just you are thinking something's going to get destroyed. You're releasing people. You're releasing people from the federal
Are we
government
going to become
or-
free-range chickens, Dan? Are the shackles
Basically.
going to be
Basically.
broken?
I'm just saying-
Listen.
I'm
These
just- but what is keeping the social fabric of America together now? Is it the
America.
government?
It's the people.
Is it the government?
No, it's
Is it the
people.
state? It's
It's
the
people.
people. It would be relatively the same. It would not be that crazy because the
I would.
police now.
Great.
now
So
when a
why?
police
So why do it? If
Wait,
it's
when a police officer, they have no state-sponsored protection, okay? Then, like the hired security firms that you're talking about, no, you have standards, you have like your own community regulatory standards, or however they decide to figure it out, to where the police you can fire them. You can like, hey, dude, you talk shit to one of our people, you're fired. If you're not
Well,
polite,
that's not
you're
good.
fired.
That's
I
not
mean,
good.
And you
That's not
can't.
good.
Well, first of all, no,
you firing someone?
you couldn't get like you couldn't demand a private institution fire somebody.
And
You know
they
what,
just
dude?
get
No one
insurance,
thought.
Dan. They
No one
just get
thought a
insurance.
constitutional. No one
Let's
thought a
get gap
constitutional.
insurance.
Most people never thought the constitutional republic could happen and or work, and they did it. And they were called terrorists. They were called crazy. They were called idiots.
I don't
They
think
would
so.
say,
I think they had
how
a
much?
pretty large
13.
support.
Excuse me. I believe it's either 7% or 13%. Now I'm getting confused with the 13 colonies. 7%, I believe, actually fought in the American Revolution. 90% of people basically said, "I just don't want to fucking deal with this."
That
Okay.
sounds like a very fucking chill way to deal with it.
Exactly.
It worked out.
That was a crazy radical idea.
Yeah, but
That was, like,
I
insane.
feel like people were very during the Revolutionary War. I feel like there was probably a pretty significant amount of the populace because word has gone around. Yeah, at least 40% in support of the revolution. Oh, bullshit!
No, people maybe supported it, but they didn't partake in it. They didn't do
Dan, what are you
anything.
doing right now?
Probably
Fucking with this political revolution. What are you fucking hitting
No, I
us
don't
on
think.
a
I
couple
don't. I don't
polls?
see it. I
What's
don't
the
think
fucking
it,
difference?
I don't think it as a revolution.
Yeah, it is. What you're thinking about is very revolutionary.
Why
You
is
just
that revolutionary?
compared to what we're talking about right now to the founding?
No, but what I'm saying is
constitutional, whatever the fuck you said.
If it's anything, it's.
So that's pretty revolutionary.
You could argue it's revolutionary. Fine. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying. I don't. When I hear revolutionary, I think violent. I think something
Che
like.
Guevara.
I don't think that needs to happen.
What do you mean? The Revolutionary War? That was a beautiful thing.
But it was probably pretty fucking bad too.
Yeah, there's probably some wild shit.
The
Imagine being
Civil
in the
War.
deep of the woods. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like 10 degrees. You know,
And you see a
negative 10
musket
degrees.
flash and a
You're like, ah, shit.
If we went back to like
Shot in the head.
militias, if we went back to militias and territories and stuff, there'd be just a bunch of rich people like funneling money into militias to make them bigger, and then having them fight each other because they think it's funny.
what's the difference now?
Not if there was like
What
a
is
real
happening in the
revolution.
Hey
world
man,
right
hey,
now?
listen, dude. If you're gonna proffer a solution, it should probably be better than what's already there.
Well, what's your solution to the police? What's your solution to the police, Sean? Like going in and what? Reforming them, and then in 5 years
They have to get a doctorate in some kind of science. First.
Yeah, but now they're educated Marxists. I don't want them either.
No, I
Like,
think
that's not
I think
true.
I mean
That's
the
not
only
oh, yeah,
you know,
probably.
I think the only thing you can really do is like communities have to like come together and fight back against things that you think are wrong.
But that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not talking about throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Dude,
Like
how is it throwing the baby out with the bathwater when it's the same exact thing, but the people hold them accountable? You
Yeah,
can go.
Yeah, we already do that. There's already a
only-
system in place where we can hold them accountable. So I don't even understand
Where?
your point.
Where?
Sean said going to town halls, holding your local governments
They don't
accountable.
have to fucking listen to you. Ask Seattle. Ask Portland. They don't have to fucking listen to
Right.
them.
And that's why they're leaving or attempting to leave these areas. They don't want to be a part of them. Like Buckhead doesn't want to be a part of Atlanta anymore.
Yes, I know.
The crime is like skyrocketing. So
40%
yeah, but so they're
going
using their voice in their community to voice their displeasure, and they're taking a stand. So what's like the difference?
And what are they doing? They're saying we're gonna divest from you. We're like we're done,
Yeah,
and that's anarchist.
okay, so
That
if
is
you,
anarchist in nature.
I guess literally, I guess you can consider anarchist because
They're
it's against the
defying-
system, right?
They're defying the government. They're
Okay.
defying natural norms. Like that's radical. A radical thing to do.
I guess by the literal definition, yes. Battlefield
No, it
2042
is
does look pretty good, though, huh?
No, it looks like trash.
You guys,
But-
like, dude.
I'm just saying, if you're talking state-sponsored terrorism, where like the state can come in and they can fuck you up, and then they can go travel around the world, march around, spreading democracy while they kill millions of people. Like let's get real. Like if you disabled the state, they're afraid of this idea because everyone thinks like, how is it so good now? Look at the state of our country. Look what these politicians are doing. These states are going down, putting these like edicts and these dictatorial laws for health and safety guidance and doing all this weird shit where you walk into an airport and they put up a fucking sign that says, by federal law, you must wear a mask. When are they going to put it? By federal law, you must be vaccinated to travel, because that's not a federal. These private companies, where what the fuck are they doing?
Right.
The TSA, which is a federal agency, which is run by the federal
There's
government.
just no accountability.
Our elected officials, the ones we elected, never voted on a federal law that made masks mandatory. But they're the ones that can put you on a no-fly list. They can fucking do all that shit.
If you got a lot of money, you could probably dispute it in court.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's America, though. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that system's there.
Yeah.
I think the system's a good thing.
Would you
But,
go
like,
$500,000 in debt to fight against something like that?
more than that?
Oh,
Be
yeah?
million.
Billions?
It'd be-
Revolutionary amount, maybe?
Yes. You guys saying like, stop this? How do we stop this from happening? I don't know. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm new into this idea. I'm like working through it in my head. I don't have all the answers.
I
I
guess.
understand. Yeah, but if we're just talking hypotheticals. We're just talking. It's just like, so if we provide a scenario and we
And then,
describe the confines of that scenario, like what?
and then you think you're being such big brain. You
You're
think you're being Mr. Big Brain over there. It's like we don't
acting-
understand what you're saying.
Is this, why doesn't it happen now?
Well, I don't know. That's a pretty.
No, I don't fucking know, but it doesn't fucking happen because it's not fucking realistic. Because people want to live in peace, people want to live in harmony. Most people don't
Right.
want to run around like homicidal
You have
massacres and all
to
this
keep
like.
those people accountable. Who are those individuals?
Huh?
But you have to keep those individuals accountable.
Let's do it back in the day with like kitty pedophiles, or like fucking weirdos and like these fucking like ingrates. You put them in a building and you lock them away and you just leave them there. Okay? And then
Because I don't believe in the death penalty, but I'll starve a motherfucker to death.
Yeah, it's not my fault. You can't eat the bach from a tree. But it's just all the greatest atrocities ever committed in humankind was due to state sponsored. It was all state sponsored.
Well, yeah,
all of it.
But doesn't that just feel like the natural progression of things?
Yes, it is natural.
So you're trying to fucking take a fucking 90-degree turn on history.
All I'm saying is that you guys are so afraid to have.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, because you're like,
afraid of?
well, like, how are you going to stop these guys from turning into giant conglomerates that like become warring factions? And then, like, I can't promise that. I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Will. They will. But they will.
You could. They definitely could. They definitely could. Anything could be possible.
One of them will do it.
I mean, maybe they would. But what's stopping South Korea from going to war with North Korea? North Korea is a very weakened state. They have bombs. They have nukes.
Yeah.
That's stopping them. That's it.
What if Taiwan goes to war with North Korea? And that's like the ultimate, like.
I think they're pretty far. I don't
No,
know.
they're not that far away. They're right under.
I guess that's true.
Maybe. Well,
you got like China.
They're
Taiwan.
not further than they're relatively close on a global scale.
I think they are. Yeah, I think they're not very far away. I mean, I do know that they fucking shoot rockets near Japan, like to freak them out and shit.
So if Time Person of the Year was actually a real thing, right? Say it was like a real thing, and like the actual person who was Person of the Year won. Do you believe Young May Park would be Time Person of the Year?
She should be probably talked about way more.
She should be like a feminine female superhero, dude.
For what she's been able to do. But my thing,
my wife loves her.
She's amazing. But
Sean, you know about her? You
I
know
don't
about
know.
Young May Park?
The woman that was interviewed by Jordan Peterson recently?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, I do.
Her book is sold out.
Can't get it.
I ordered
one
it.
last question. Like, seriously, this is it. This is it about the anarchist bullshit, whatever.
Alright.
I'll get to it. I'm still considering
I'll
myself
just, you know
conservative.
what I'll do, dude? I'll do a private military, and I'll incorporate through science and technology. I'll make RoboCop human beings. And
Okay,
that'll be my private police.
Are you for globalization? Either of you? Do you believe we have one global?
That's such a big question. I just got one more question, just a small question.
No, seriously, it's a
Do you
simple
believe in
question.
globalism?
It's a yes or no. Do you believe? that
No,
there should be
no, I believe in
globalized-
sovereignty.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, because exactly.
It's a natural
It's
instinct.
fucking absurd to think that you're gonna force all these different cultures, all these different people to be a part of you. No, that's why
not
we
what I'm
have.
saying. I said the opposite.
I'm not saying you personally. I'm just
You
using
seem so
the
fucking angry about it.
No, because that's what I'm saying. If you're against globalism, the thing right before globalism is statism. And you got to think like that.
You just want to go back to the step before statism, and then so we'll fall back into statism, and then eventually into globalism again.
Maybe, but
Well, that's what'll happen.
We don't know
You have
that.
to be globally connected. I think it is important as a country or a person of our time, people of our time, that you need to be not necessarily global, but you need to be in contact with countries.
I'm not talking about. But I'm saying
There's so much money to be made and so much mutual benefit.
Global government, where the global government controls everybody.
No,
That
who the fuck would believe in that?
Well, a lot of people do.
I don't think so.
The World Economic Forum? Hello.
Yeah,
Thank
a
you.
couple fucking lunatics at the top who have
Most
power and can write a fucking article. I don't care.
Powerful people in the world except Trump. Trump was like the only billionaire that didn't want it to happen. You know, just a joke. But that is literally
the Illuminati,
no, but the globalism
Freemasons.
in itself is just a bigger version of nationalism, right? Like nationalism
What is your point?
is that if you take the power away from certain individuals from being this monolithic figure, like having a president kind of seems like a ridiculous idea sometimes. Like it's kind of fucking.
Idealistically, I agree with you.
I'm just saying, like, nationalism is just a mini globalism. So if you want to be
Okay.
if you want to be truly free
Yeah.
in statism or whatever you want to call it, Statism would probably be the more correct term.
What do you be?
It would be more
Colonization?
free. Would be more free. You would just be, because it's not that states have to go away literally, but
There'll
like
still be
no,
barriers.
no,
And
you have the Constitution. That's it.
you already
can't
got
make
it, bro.
laws. No, but you can't make any other laws. You can't do anything. It's the
That's
Constitution.
so idealistic.
I know it is, but that
It's
would
like
be
so idealistic it can't happen.
I mean,
no. But the government, literally, Sean. How simple is this? Second Amendment shall not be infringed.
I agree.
How easy is that?
It's a
How
pretty
easy
good rule.
to fucking read? And then you can't even buy a gun in New York. Can't do it. It's like impossible.
Yeah,
Well,
but if the
fine.
people wanted to change that, the people within, the powers that be,
So
obviously
who creates the black market for drugs? Black market for guns? It's the government.
Chinese.
It's the government. Who creates the black market for sex trafficking? For all this stuff, like all these things, is
China.
because the government. That's why they exist. That's why it goes under the guise. That's how people get murdered in the streets, because the police can't stop the black market from existing. They can try, but they can't literally
So
stop
the
it.
government should hire private militaries to take care of it.
Maybe they should. I don't know. Triple canopy or something. Hire me. Anyway, I don't know.
Ben
Are you
was
guys
trying to fucking get me with that earlier.
What?
Oh, dude, it's fucking anarchy, man.
No, I'm not anarchist necessarily.
Listening to a lot of Green Day, huh?
No, but I don't think anarchy is the answer.
I'm done talking
Absolutely.
about it.
I just
done
don't think it's
talking
the
about
answer, but I think there's something else in that vein that needs to be discovered. Something that is where the state literally can't become more powerful. There needs to be something there.
So idealistic. I feel like there already is something there. They just maneuver around it. Right.
The Supreme
So there's
Court,
just no accountability. So you have to introduce an accountability somehow into these.
That's why every person
institutions.
should be armed and stand by and stand back.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
that's the facts. Those are the facts.
I'm just saying, dude. If you guys should go read a little bit about it. I'm not an anarchist. I'm not saying I am, but I do
No,
think
'cause I
that
think we just talked you off a ledge. I feel like.
No, I'm not an anarchist. I never said I was. I think the idea of dissolving the state is like an interesting
Very
thing.
appealing, isn't it?
It's interesting. It's about
So is communism.
communism in its ideal form, like idealistic.
Yeah, kind of like your idealistic
Yeah,
form.
but you can't tell me it's not fucked up now. Like there's
It
not so many
is.
things.
So you have to
fucked
just
up.
fucking deal with what you got, fix what's already built, okay, and just put some fucking new foundation down. You know.
So you would never want to buy a home that's on a good land, good property, but maybe it just
Yes.
needs to be torn down. It kind of went through a couple house
I
fires.
have money for that though.
We do have money. We have the currency. It's the people. That's the currency.
What the fuck are you talking about, man? So
That
when
is-
I'm clearing my land, do I need to hire a private security firm to monitor my area so my
No,
children
you
don't get
don't
raped?
have a military. Get rid of the military completely.
Who's policing?
What?
Who's policing?
You just everyone has guns. If everyone has guns, everyone does their thing. Let's just say idealistic.
Posses would develop then. It's
it goes-
it's undeniable. People are tribalistic.
I mean, people. I don't think
You
people
know who,
are.
you know
bad.
who outlaw Josie Wales is?
I do.
That's your private security.
Yeah, dude. He's just like fucking.
That'd be the best
Bill
private
Ryder?
security to have, though.
Rape women and do horrible
He's a
things.
good shot. Yeah, he's a good shot though.
Oh, dude, they really dropping the ball at cowboy movies, man.
Well, they haven't made one since the Magnificent Seven. That's I guess they had that.
But they're due for like a classic. When's the last classic cowboy movie that came out? Classic,
Probably the one with.
original.
I would say the one with Christian Bale was pretty
Unforgiven?
good.
310
No,
to Yuma's pretty
no.
good.
310 to Yuma's good, but which one was the other one? About the Civil War guy.
Oh, hostages.
Hostage.
Oh, man.
That's all right.
That's a good one. That's
310 to
okay.
Yuma's.
310 to Yuma is more like an old Hollywood Western. I mean, it's a remake of an old Hollywood Western.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's-
Well, name one that's not a remake.
I mean, I like Tombstone. That's not.
That's
that's not
1995.
93, I think, actually.
Cowboys
oh.
versus Aliens.
Yeah, Open Range.
When did Unforgiven come out?
1992.
Oh yeah. See, like, dude, somebody's fucking really. There's an industry out there that someone's not taking advantage of.
They make them. They occasionally get made, but
I bet they're all remakes, Sean.
some of them are. I mean, like 310 to
Hostages
Yuma.
was okay. A great dialogue, but it was okay.
Got Appaloosa, 310 to Yuma, No Country for Old Men, I guess would be considered a Western, kind of, neo-Western. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. The Missing. Seraphim Falls. The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. Great Western. Korean movie, actually. Shanghai Noon.
Yeah, dude, that's my time. Eat fucking chicken wings and watch Shanghai Noon.
Brokeback Mountain.
Fucking great movie.
Um,
You have to give Brokeback Mountain that is a well-made movie, right?
yeah, it's well performed. Good performances. Well
I
made.
could only watch it one time in my life. I tried to watch it again, I couldn't watch it.
Got too horny. Had to stop.
Yeah, it was just like the wrong crowd.
We threw it on at a party. Like,
'Cause that's a
2:30
very
in the morning.
serious movie. Some heavy shit going on in that movie.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Some fucking a lot of dick getting thrown around in that movie.
All right. So, did you guys watch E3 at all? Or
Yes.
any of the things from E3?
Yeah. Pretty fucking disappointing.
Who gives a shit anymore? Like, honestly,
Dan, you
like,
gave a shit so much you watched that shit live in a Discord service.
Because you
Shut the
asked
fuck
me.
up. What do you mean?
I
You're
know,
already
well,
in
my
there with
buddy
your
Tanner,
friend.
My buddy Tanner asked me.
Yeah.
He called me. He's like, "Get on Discord, come hang out." And I was like, "All right."
Yeah, so it's
Like,
kind
that
of
was
like
it.
a little event. It's better than not doing nothing. It's fun. Sticking around.
I don't do nothing. I got Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2.
You got to
Mass
replay
Effect
Mass
3.
Effect 1 and 2. You have to replay it.
So, did you guys?
Battlefield 2042, Dan, like, underplaying it so hard. Like, that's going to be such a fun game. I don't give a fuck.
Which one?
Battlefield 2042 is going to be, it's going to, like, take you back.
Honestly,
to
do you want to buy my
100%.
PlayStation 5? Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm kind of over.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Dan. When I get that thing and then Sean gets it, shut the fuck up.
No,
Like,
dude.
shut
Like,
your fucking
honestly,
head.
dude, it's.
Yeah. Paul goes, like, my friend
I
Paul
don't even
does this
use
shit
it. I
all the
don't-
time. He's like, I don't even play it, man.
I actually haven't used it in years. I just bought it to prove something to you.
When was the last time you played Mass Effect?
Today. I finally finished 2. I was pretty disappointed. I lost Garrus, Morden.
Whoa! I told you, Dan.
Uh,
I told you to think about it. That's the
I
only
did.
hint. No, you
I
didn't.
did.
They all have a certain. They all
Legion.
have a certain skill set and characteristics, and you know, and it's pretty obvious what it is.
I know, and I did. Did anyone die the
Actually,
first time you played?
actually-
Did anyone die the first time you played?
Oh.
No one
Jack-
died.
Jack died the first time.
No,
I
one
played.
person did die. I think I sent the wrong person through the tunnel.
So I sent Legion because that made sense, and then I sent I went on, and then I set Miranda as the second team lead person. That worked. No one died.
Yeah,
I
that's
sent
good.
Grunk.
You could do her
I
like
sent
Jacob.
I sent Grunk, but like when Legion got to the door,
Gets fucking up, man.
he gets fucking shot in the head, and I'm
Dude,
like, what the hell?
That's a pretty
And I'm
good
like,
ending, though.
And then all of a sudden, like people got to stay behind because I need them to protect the door so I can deal with the collectors. You know, it's business time. I'm sorry, war is ugly, Ryan. It's not your idealistic game. Okay, it's not perfect.
I think the way you're playing it is perfect though, because you're gonna
Yeah,
get
fun.
your Mass Effect experience. Like it's
It sucks,
any-
though.
no,
I-
dude, but it had to have made the ending so much more dramatic.
So
Like-
did the ending
Chris-
suck, Dan, or was it good?
Garrus and Morden were my
That hurt.
favorites.
That
Those
hurt.
were my favorite guys.
That
I
hurt.
loved them.
Yeah.
I loved them, man. I loved them. But I got my pussy girl. I got my girl. I got my girl Miranda. She with me. You know,
She turns out not even being worth it.
probably not. But
No, it's-
I cream pie Italians. We're good. Who else died? There was one more.
Jesus. I think
Morden.
one person died for me. Or
I
two.
lost 3. But no, but it was because they got killed.
Morden's the assassin, right? No, Morden's Solus.
Solus. Yeah.
Dude, that's such a huge plot line in the third game. That's ridiculous.
yeah. Like it's
yeah,
crazy.
but they're just gonna have a
I don't
different
wanna-
character.
Sean.
The same thing.
Sean, that is such a huge. It's
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
Sean,
mandatory
no.
that you play it, but
No,
it's such a
Sean,
huge
Sean,
and emotional moment.
Sean,
That's probably the
Ryan.
most emotional moment from that fucking
Ryan,
game. Is his
that's
arc?
That's your experience. Not
no,
mine.
that's the objectively better experience. It's been.
I don't know.
reviewed.
I'll maybe I'll watch it or
Talked
something
about.
after. But it was It's pretty
No,
good.
but you're gonna lose all the time. In the third one, you build a relationship, you build it further, so you're not gonna have that same connection.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
He's like emotionally, like he's
Brian,
really.
I don't want to get into it. I don't
he's
want to
really
get
fucked
into
up
it.
about
It's
his.
my, it's my journey.
We can do a review.
I'll buy it and I'll replay the third one.
No, you're not. There's no way.
What do you mean?
It'll take you months the way you
I'm
play
off for
games.
5 days.
Ryan, you don't have enough time to play 3 games.
40 hours in on The Witcher, Dan.
Oh, wow. You actually got past the first 15, 20 hours now. Wow.
Yeah. It's good. It's a fun game.
It is a great game. It's one of the best games ever.
I love
But-
The Witcher. I'm like a Witcher fanboy. Just personally, I don't say it out to the public, but just personally.
Deep inside.
Deep
Because I'm
inside.
reading the book, I was watching the show, and I'm playing the game. It's just like all this, and it's like some of it's almost like conflicting information, just because how it's given to you, because they're all kind of depicted differently. It's just like fucking. So I watched the show, and then I read the books, and I was picturing the images from the show when I was reading, and I had to throw that idea out because like as soon as I did that, I enjoyed it so much more.
Yeah.
So I picture Geralt as Geralt from the game.
Okay.
I pretty much depict everything from the game, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely the stronger impression out of all the stuff. So other than Battlefield 2042, which it looks cool.
Yeah,
I
Sean,
mean,
like you
looks
can't
like
deny
Battlefield.
that you're not gonna have a good time.
No, that'll be a ton of fun. I can't. I look forward to. Playing.
I'm honestly like, you can't support these companies anymore. They support China, dude. Like, they are bad
God
people.
damn, don't go to fucking Walmart.
I don't go to Walmart. What are you talking about?
All right, don't go to fucking. Where do
Done.
you go? Where do you go?
I'm off I just will never eat
Do
again.
you go out in your backyard and forage?
No, but I think there is like
Clean living.
Blizzard, especially censoring people from saying certain things on their
Yes,
platform.
but Blizzard is also criticized too. They are criticized heavily.
They don't
like,
change anything.
like the people
Because they're a
culturally-
private company, they can do what they want.
Honestly, though, they have seen huge numbers drop offs.
Right,
Huge,
so you-
like 30% drop numbers from like a year ago, probably.
You
Because
know
of that.
how important Tim Pool's talking about how we need to change the culture. So
Yep.
Linus Tech Tips, he's like a very big, influential individual in that space, and he's like totally against all that stuff.
I think Linus is kind of like a quasi-conservative or something. A Canadian conservative is like a American center left. But you know, it's just there's
pushback from those big companies. Even
I think they've made a huge critical error. I don't think they've seen the wave that is coming.
they
I
can
do
recover.
They always will. They're gonna have to suck up. They're gonna have to sell out. Like that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna be like, "We're so sorry. We're so sorry. We were like white racist and like talking about."
But what if
how-
they go? What if they get woke? What if they get like? What if they go like, "Oh man, you know what? We're strictly apolitical from here on."
That's how they should be. They're fucking dumb. They're morons. Like for the way
Well,
they've handled this whole situation.
Is it moronic? But by gaining and being in China's goodwill, whether backlash is one thing, but the financial gain you probably get from having China being able to buy your product probably outweighs the negative public image for
Yeah, they don't
a
care.
couple
They
months.
don't care about that stuff.
They don't give
And then
Yeah, but
people have a short memory. Like
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's like a week later, everybody's like just moved on and accepted it. I mean, unfortunate, but it's the way it is.
You guys think
We have to tear it down. We have to tear it all down to zero. We got to destroy and
will
liquefy every company. Everybody's company gets abolished. You're a farmer.
No, that's anyway.
Okay,
But
I'm taking
the meat
it.
production has nothing to do with anarchy, so I don't like as far as I understand it.
You like meat? How much meat do you eat on a monthly basis, Dan? How many pounds?
A month?
Yep. How many pounds of meat do you eat a
10
month?
to 15, 20.
So
Try
if
to
you
get-
are one man in the
maybe.
woods, could you hunt enough to get that much meat? Oh yeah, easily.
I mean, realistically, I don't. I mean, I think I could survive for a while, but I'd probably end up dying. I have to be honest.
You
I mean,
think
like,
so?
I know, like you definitely would. You
Yeah,
fucking
but-
die like in minutes.
Well,
You'd be
you
dead.
fucking really
You don't have mommy.
really
state
have a
that can support you.
low image on what is it?
Where's my police to save me now? No, I'm just kidding. But
Where's RoboCop? God
Yeah.
damn it! My payment was late.
Yeah,
God,
no, like
damn it!
yeah.
I should have set up automatic withdrawal. God damn it! Now I'm gonna get raped. This is terrible.
Yeah, you're walking down like a dark alley, and you're like, "Oh, don't worry, I got my RoboCop with me," and then he just
And it
shuts
just
off.
stops.
Yeah, he just shuts off, and it's just like insert more tokens. You're like, "Oh fuck, I don't. Oh shit."
No,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
but
like
wallet.
you're
like,
walking out of an opera with your parents, and your insurance
You know-
runs out, and they get fucking murdered.
it would be like really funny if the only way you could like charge it was like you have to put like a cock ring on and then you have to fuck it. You have to like fuck it from behind to like. pay.
Why would you design it that way? That'd be so
I don't know, man.
impractical.
Have you ever seen South Park? Remember
Yeah,
the,
with the
wheel?
guys?
The wheel?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're saying I don't have to put this giant thing on my ass? Like, right? No, it's never been required.
Yeah.
It is so great.
It's like the whole, even the kids are doing it.
Yeah, like everybody, the whole city,
Hilarious.
like just
They
getting
need
it.
to show that on Nickelodeon.
Dude, I don't. Shit, Nickelodeon's lost. Hey, do you guys? How do you guys feel about Juneteenth?
Oh, so they're basically saying that's when they became the African Americans became free in America.
It was
got their like their sovereignty. I
No.
guess.
no June 19th is a day because
Is that what this being in the media? That's what it's being represented as, right?
kind
It's
of
it's celebrating basically becoming
the end
free.
of slavery.
Yeah.
Well, it's
So
not.
what's the Emancipation Proclamation? What's all that about?
I'm trying to explain this. Like I'm trying, and like you just keep going. So June 19th is a day, which is now we know as Juneteenth, which is now a federal holiday. It's the 11th or 15th or something like that. It was because news and information traveled so slow back then. It took a military commander to go down to Texas in the South to let these people. It was the last slaves finally knew that they were free.
That was that year.
It was that day. It was like 2 years
So
after.
objectively, looking at that story objectively, without any political pressure from anything, it's like a good thing.
I think Juneteenth is fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it.
Didn't it get hyper politicized though? And it got like
It's always
conflated with racial, what's that? Critical race theory and stuff like that. Or that
So-
am I wrong?
Kirk is getting shit on because he posted like, "Oh, I wonder why the Democrats aren't the one," because it was the Republicans. The Republicans are the one who put in the bill
Push
to
it
make
through.
holiday.
What?
They wrote, yeah, they did it. Like
I
a
swore
year
I
ago.
read it said like House Democrats.
Donald Trump was the one who decided that he wanted to make it a federal holiday. Like, this was a discussion. Like, that was a couple of years ago. I think it was 2020. I believe it was when it really got started. The discussions. Tim Scott.
Dude,
and I think
it's just
Senator
like Veep. It's just like Veep.
It is. It probably is. I haven't
John,
watched
you know in Veep when she's like negotiating that like historic peace deal with those two countries in Asia or something, and she's president for like a month, and then she loses the presidency, and then the rising president takes credit for all of it.
Yes.
Like
I think it's
black-
free.
like-
Isn't it free Taiwan?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, it's the same thing with Lyndon B. Johnson, and the Democrats. It was the Republicans that passed the 1964 and 67 Civil Rights Act. The Democrats have always been on the wrong side of history, like always. The only thing they may have gotten right. And when the next time someone say that black people deserve reparations, fuck you, you've had it. Affirmative action and equal opportunity, bitch. You fucking had reparations since the 70s. That was reparations. That was you to build your generational wealth.
What are you talking about? Why are you so angry?
I'm just saying. Like, I'm done. Like, I know, because
Fucking
I got
angry white cis male.
I'm just saying. It's like, come on, man. Like, come on.
Come
on,
I
man.
agree.
Like,
Just
but
not
we
so
did
angrily.
it already. Like, it's over. Like, let it go, people.
Yeah, but you know what? In my anecdotal opinion,
Your mic went off.
good.
Look at this professional. Oh, say something. Look at this guy. He can't. Yeah, you're out, dude. You can't hear anything.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
What? Say?
I've had great relationships with black people in my life. So.
Oh, me too.
I have many black friends.
I would say that's.
No, I'm not virtue signaling. I'm not. because that could be considered virtue signaling. But like I don't know. I've never kind of like what Morgan Freeman said on that one. How do you stop talking about it?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like a lot of people just adopt that sentiment normally. Like normally.
So, is that how we stop statism? We just stop talking about it? Just ignore it? Just like,
honestly,
okay.
what if it is?
Stop talking about the federal government and it'll just go away. You just disappear.
Yeah. Oh shit. Fuck. You don't need us.
Who the fuck is our president? it's like three guys like in a room are the only people voting. You know, that's sometimes what it feels like.
It's like Oz. It's like
no, it's you guys don't understand. See, they're all of them are our dream, our collective dream. They don't even exist if we just stop thinking about them. It'll be like in that photograph that Marty McFly looks at Back to the Future and his
you got
disappearing.
Big like
news.
That. You guys get ready.
He's got a fucking whiteboard.
Get ready. I don't have a whiteboard, a piece of paper. Thank you.
Okay. It's like sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry. Okay. But tonight's gonna be really big in Portland. I have a feeling. Proud Boys.
Any there?
Why do you do this every time? It doesn't make sense. Like I'm talking and then you just go like you yack. So the Proud Boys and Antifa already had a standoff and they threw a punch at each other. Ford Fisher's there and a couple other guys. I think Elijah Schaefer and a few. It's gonna be probably bad tonight. So if you're on Twitter, look out. Look out!
Those Chris Sparks videos.
The Sparks
and
they will
tag
fly.
me. My @ is. Yeah. Dan loves it. Dan thrives off that shit, dude.
No, I don't. I don't get off of it. It's like Sean.
It is good. It is good to know.
Sean has been there when one night it happened when like Portland riots were kind of new. It was like a newer thing.
Yeah, when it was.
It's not. Yeah, now it's like it's like going to be like fashion and just like riots, just whatever. Now it's like, oh, you like the bell
this year in rioting.
Yeah, this year, right? Like Victoria's riot or something.
Yeah.
But Sean and I were talking like, this is horrifying. This is crazy. This is like scary. Like, why is this happening? Like, it's something that I think the sentiment that I still feel to this day.
Man, it's crazy what happens when you take the police out of the equation.
That's not that is state-sponsored terrorism. What are you talking about? The police are doing their jobs. They're arresting him because like the way it's supposed to be done, right? Like morally.
Didn't they just do a huge mass walkout?
No, they 50 of their riot squad guys resigned.
A lot of fucking people, bro.
They resigned from their position on the reaction squad, but they're still cops. It's not like they left the department.
Still, yeah, but then when there's Antifa riots going on, it's probably good to have those people.
Well, a guy got indicted for
a cop, and they didn't stand up for him, like they didn't have his back, like that.
Yeah,
that professor in Canada, people's got her back supposedly.
Which professor are you talking about?
Jordan Peterson talked to.
Oh yeah, that fucking lady. Yeah,
good for her. She's a fucking.
Women shouldn't be taught to read, write, or anything. They just need to be
kept in a
breeding
cage.
machines,
Kept in a cage.
breeding factories.
Dan, you know what, Sean? Have you played Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
You know the side mission you go on with that cop?
Oh yeah, with the fucking factory.
Dan's that fucking crazy dude with the factory. Just that's where all the women are.
Yeah.
He's like a fucking lunatic.
Like cattle. They're cattle.
And you're like fucking half naked in a cut up jeans with your dirty greasy hair.
Oh.
Looking at a cigarette. You got like fucking turd stains on your underwear. You just reek.
All right. Well, I guess we should end the podcast on the last thing I thought to brought up, which was, are you black-pilled or white-pilled for the future?
God, dude. What is this?
I'm black-pilled. This is Michael Malice. I'm black-pilled.
What does that mean?
Michael Malice is white-pilled, according to him.
No, I'm saying the concept. Michael Malice coined the term the white pill.
Oh, yeah. Well, so black pill, doom and gloom, and white pill, future. Like everything's great, it's good, it's awesome.
It's optimistic.
I think it's important to remember where we are right now in respect to all of human history. I think that's something to consider.
Listen, don't get me on that tangent, okay? Because you know nothing about human history. I'll tell you right now. You
Well,
listen
I'm
to
just
Graham
saying
Hancock?
it's
Randall
not
Cunningham?
a bad.
No, you
Like,
haven't.
this is it's a good time. We're kind of like it's a new age, dude. Technology has propelled so much in the past 70 years. It's crazy.
Don't give me that fucking transhumanism bullshit. Get the fuck out. You
Is
want to
that
be a machine, Ryan?
transhumanism?
You want to be a machine?
No, I don't want to.
You want to join the machines? You would join
I
the
think it'd be
Reapers,
sick
Ryan.
to be a
You
fucking
would.
Roman, like a rich Roman dude. That'd be pretty fucking sick too. Fucking drink cold water from a stream, aqueduct coming from the mountain, right into my mouth. You know
This is
what I
my
mean?
personal. Like you're the only one that can drink the water from the mountain. Like it's your personal
the
tap.
aqueduct, yeah, it like dumps in my backyard.
So Dan, are you white pilled or black pilled?
I think I'm more leaning towards white pilled. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
okay, this is my thing. Black pilled for the short term. Like I was listening to Tim Cass. I was like, that's like really interesting. Like I think it's gonna get really interesting and scary for a while. Kind of like the revolution. I'm not saying a revolution is going to happen, but there is going to be a period of
Culturally,
serious.
there's a cultural something. Cultural
No, there a lot of people are going to die in the next 10, 15, like in my opinion, like hundreds of thousands.
That's pretty doom and gloom.
No, but for the short term, long term, it will be good.
These vaccines are
Wait,
crazy,
but
dude.
600,000 just died. So are we already through it?
No, I do think that there's
Maybe
going to
that
be
was
some
it.
sort of-
Maybe that's the doom, and we got a
there
little.
could be it. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow Biden will wake up without dementia and just be like, you know what? I do love America.
You know
We're
what's
taking
something?
away all these race-based policies, and we're just going to focus on Americans. Boom. And like that'd be cool, but that's not what it's about. So
You know what I found that was interesting. This is kind of unrelated since we're kind of winding things down. YouTube commenters and Twitter commenters are two different communities. It seems. like.
100%.
Yeah.
YouTube seems to be actually nicer in comparison. They're nicer.
Even like the very popular video, like even like some of the most popular consumed media, some of the comments are, I don't know. They're more middle left, but like Twitter comments, dude. Sometimes you get on, but I guess it depends on where you're
but
at, just like anything else. But.
Yeah, but like a YouTube comment moderation is much different than it was like 10 years ago. I mean, YouTube was always considered to be the cesspool of comments because like no matter what video, no matter the topic, no matter whatever, like somebody will call you fat or do whatever or just be an asshole or a troll or
that's good.
whatever.
Yeah, but that's good because that's interaction.
No, that's what I'm saying. So now, if you were to look at them now, you're looking at a very sanitized version of a comment section that used to naturally occur. On Twitter, people are way more petty and hostile and short.
Well,
and it's because of the format. I mean,
and I just think because YouTube seems a little bit more, I don't know, for lack of a better term, conservative.
no, they are
So
friendly.
is there some crispy, some spicy stuff on Twitter?
No, YouTube is way more like free speech oriented than Twitter.
Oh
yeah.
yes, relatively speaking, sure.
Okay, hold on.
Just because of the personalities.
In certain areas, medical stuff, YouTube censors everything that goes against the norms.
You can still see some crazy medical shit though. You can see people getting like
Yeah,
legs
well,
sawed off and shit.
Well, that's
COVID
not-
related. COVID.
Yeah, but
related.
that's
No,
it's
I
COVID
think
related.
YouTube really is beholden to advertisers, and they have been for a long time. And that when that cat was let out of the bag, they just said, "Fuck it, that's what we're going to cater to." That's why, like every year, they come up with more and more stringent regulations for their community guidelines. Like we suffered from it.
Okay,
just
I have a
this week.
question. Would you pay $100 a month as a private YouTube channel to where they can't censor you? You can post whatever you want and whatever.
Yeah, hypothetically, probably. Yeah.
I would do it.
But I think but then they would have you cordoned off into like a different section, and you wouldn't be able to get advertisers. And
no, you could still get. Oh, but like, let's say the advertisers in that section all agreed that they don't care. They're like free speech. It'd be all My Pillow ads or something.
Well, yeah, because the way they work, they're not like moderating. Like companies are not like moderating like the content where their ads run. So it's fallen to YouTube to do it, or they've decided that they're going to do it. And I mean, they're allowed to. I think it kind of sucks, honestly. I think it's destroyed like the uniqueness of YouTube. Honestly, like YouTube was there was a time where it was you could comfortably say like, yeah, I could just shut off cable. It's I'll just watch stuff on YouTube. Now, not so much. Not so much.
According to
All
China,
part all part of Cable's plan.
they've done 1 billion vaccinations.
God bless them. Saving
That's
the
what they-
world one vaccination
is-
at a time, brother.
The state has power, and it can be for quote unquote good things, right? Quote unquote good things. They just be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna force you to get this fucking vaccination, bro. Fuck you.
Oh, in the United States, like you will be coerced.
All I'm gonna say,
There's active coercion going on.
I'm gonna
That's what
tell you
I'm
right
saying.
now.
You're not going to be forced, but you will be coerced.
You'll be shamed as well.
I will not comply.
Dan's like, I never liked Bruce Springsteen.
Like, I just don't understand.
Hey,
like,
guess who I'm going to see in October potentially? Maybe not.
John Mayer.
Steve Martin and Martin Short. Yeah, they're coming. You want to go? Go. You want to go?
I'd go. Yeah.
They're like 150 a ticket right now. It's not bad. This is in like a smaller theater.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you have something, Dan, that you could think of hypothetically that would drive you to do it? Like, what would be the line? What's the line for you? Like, what would it be? I mean, like, you're in a unique position where you're like, you're pretty financially secure. You don't you're not married.
Talking about the vaccination?
Yeah, like, what would be your line? Like, because you don't have a lot of these like outside obligations, responsibilities.
Like, honestly,
yeah,
there might be one reason. I can think of one reason, and I'll be honest. Like, I will be objectively honest, and I'm not even going to be bullshitting you. If they just said they were going to take away my benefits, then maybe I would think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm serious.
I won't even bullshit you. Like, I'm not fucking dumb. Like, I agree.
How dare you?
That
Set up to the system. How dare you? You take it to court.
Yeah, you could. And that's the thing. Is like,
throw it out. That's what Tim Pool said.
Maybe, I'm not going to lie, that thought hasn't crossed my mind already. Like, would I do it? You know, like, it's something to think about. And, but like, what happens if like you can't get a job, and then like there's a lot of things.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, we won't force people to do it, but we will coerce you, and part of that is going to be.
God, I hope I didn't just speak that into existence. The fucking
part of that, part of that is
doing?
going to be enforced by private corporations and all that stuff. I mean, those
veterans
are the things.
Are protected at least right now under the American Disabilities Act.
I listened to a podcast, and the guy who was doing the podcast had people write in for the like vaccination or not vaccination like stories, and apparently on the military, it was a guy from the Navy who's on a ship.
Yeah.
And they separate the vaccinated and unvaccinated soldiers. They're not even allowed to like eat together or do anything. Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. No science behind that. None.
No, there isn't. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
and
you will
study
suffer.
That came out of Israel from Tel Aviv.
No, I might have, but what is it?
6 million people. 6 million people took which is basically all of Israel or some shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
6 million people took part of the study. They took blood samples from every citizen that got the vaccination or that was infected, and there is literally no difference between vaccination and normal infection, and it's very minuscule, very small, but the natural infection is slightly better.
So if I got COVID, I'm more protected in the future. So
you have natural antibodies.
But they don't. I thought they expire. Or is that a lie too?
Lie, dude.
I mean, I know they don't know. That's what they speculate and they put it out there, but nobody fucking knows because there hasn't been enough time, unless they know something we don't know.
But it's FDA approved, so
well,
yeah. I literally, this is what it is. This is state-sponsored corporatism. This is not capitalism. This is not capitalism, people. This is the state assisting these multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies who are fucking.
I thought we were ending it on a light note.
Just saying, from the 2008 real estate collapse, like you start looking at those financial institutions
and fucked up.
All this stuff, they are propping these guys up. I am white pill through the future. I am. I'm happy. I think things are going to be
10 million people will die.
But... No, there literally is probably going to be like a lot of people are going to have to be. It could be the left. The left could be violent and rise up. Like there could be a lot. It could be right-wing militias. It could be anarchy.
Or it could just continue being cultural.
Or it could continue where the government decides that they're going to federalize police forces, and then they're going to go like march through your cities, and then they're going to start saying, "Hey, you're not vaccinated. You can't leave your house. You can't travel. You can't do this. You can't do that."
Well,
Yeah,
I'll move to
and we know-
Florida. I'll move to Florida.
And,
I'll
but
move
we,
to fucking Florida.
and then, but we know that, like, and unfortunately, this is the reality. Like, a lot of police officers just comply. They
Do you know
don't
what they're
think
talking
about
about
it. They
doing
don't do
in LA?
anything. What?
You know what they're talking about doing in LA? They are talking about non-vaccinated hours, so that you can go shopping if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
unvaccinated
They
between
don't-
these hours.
But there's no way to enforce it.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Well,
'cause
if a company wanted to
then
start
you can walk in
checking-
a store without a mask.
No, but well, hypothetically, like, you could hire somebody to check vaccination cards.
Or you'd be like, you're not allowed in the store unless you show me a vaccination
It'll be
card.
a
If you
social
don't have a vaccination
contract,
card-
and it'll be
Which I don't know if that
virtue
would be.
signaling. It's just
I
going
don't-
to be virtue
No,
signaling.
but someone like like the state of California is talking about it.
Yeah, I don't-
Vaccine certification.
It would probably if they were ever to attempt that, and maybe they will. I don't know.
Canada's
well,
already
Canada's
rolling
a
that
different.
program out.
I know, but that's a different.
This goddamn
country.
America, boy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you don't think that would go to
Yeah.
the Supreme
Americans
Court?
are a fucking crazy.
I'm gonna tell you
population.
right now. California, New York are the Canadas of America. Like those are the Canadas in America. They exist.
Yeah, I understand. You don't think anybody would take that case?
What if they just leave? And the,
I don't know,
and the
Sean.
economy
When
shifts?
when the
What
Supreme
if they? What if
Court,
the people leave and the
when-
industry leaves?
when the Supreme Court said, "Oh yeah, Gavin Newsom, you're a fucking asshole. You can't shut down churches." What does he do? Just reissues the order again. What does Governor of Michigan do when she goes, "Oh shit, like I don't fucking like want to put all these people in nursing homes, so we're gonna cover it up. We're gonna lie." Then the same thing, shut down churches, and then the legislature voted to remove some rules that she did. And she goes, "Fuck you! Nope, I'm just gonna reissue them again, and you're gonna have to do it again." Same thing. Christian or Cuomo did up in New York. Andrew.
You did kill
It's-
15,000 people.
Well, I don't know how many. Those people probably would have naturally died. A couple thousand, probably, just naturally, just from
Yeah, but-
interacting.
Damn, that's a lot of people. For your sole decision to your
I'm saying, like-
sole decision to have that
I
much of
was
an impact on that many lives in a very short period of time is very significant.
And now the PCR testing, they did a study of 190,000 people. The PCR test was racked up to such a sensitive degree that out of 160,000 people who are asymptomatic could not even transfer the virus. That's how
Phenomenal.
sensitive our PCR tests have been. So all the millions and millions and millions and millions of fucking cases were fucking bullshit, in my opinion.
I'm not a scientist,
I'm not.
No,
I'm not
a
a scientist.
doctor.
It's in my opinion. I
but I've
just
been
have
on
to
the
say,
tube. I've been
if
on the
you don't
Twitter.
think our institutions are breaking down our elections, everything's
Yes,
a
yes.
A lot of
we
people are gonna die,
It's a very
dude.
fragile
You gotta
time.
deal with the
It's a very
reality.
fragile time. I see
I'm-
people
I'm-
die all the time.
like take your mouth off the tit and just realize it's going to get
Who
bad.
the fuck are you talking to, guy?
What?
Repeat
your mouth
that
off
phrase
the tit.
to yourself.
I'm not talking. I'm not acting like I'm not. I don't have like certain privileges and certain. I've talked about this. Don't fucking shove that shit in my fucking face. I'm talking like pop the tit. No, you're
What
assuming
tit?
that I'm talking about the state. I'm saying like as a comfort, Ryan. I'm talking about the comfort
What?
of life.
Comfort.
Like things could get really bad.
Oh, like
and
food
you
could be
sitting there
harder to
going,
come by, and
like,
gas
it-
could be harder to come by. Yeah, and prices
No.
will rise, and people won't be able to afford common.
It's
Good,
it's
you know,
like
I
it's like
get it.
it's like I'm talking about a comfort. Like so, I don't appreciate you throwing that in my face. Like that was kind of fucking
I'm just
disingenuous.
teasing you, dude.
That was not teasing, and you know it. So like if
What do you mean? How is it not teasing? Tell me how
it
I.
wasn't because you said because I said pop the tit out of your mouth.
Yeah, but Dan,
And what did you say?
What you don't understand when you like give shit and someone gives you shit back, that's just someone
That's
giving
not
shit
giving
back because you're
shit
throwing
because
some
you
shit.
know because you know that's not giving shit, bro.
Yeah, it is. You say get off the tit.
Yeah, the
It's
comfort.
directed at
I'm not-
me. So I don't understand how. What do you mean? You're throwing shit. I throw some shit. There's
I'm
shit
not
everywhere.
throwing shade. I'm not throwing shade.
Yeah, but I don't
This
even
is a
interpret it as a
metaphor.
shit. I just feel like I don't even care. I don't care. That's why I didn't bring it up.
Okay, excellent. But there should be some, I think, realization that like things could get really bad for me too. They could strip me of my benefits just the
That'd
way
be
I speak,
terrible.
maybe, and then they could do that.
But
They could ban my bank accounts. They can do whatever.
Well, yeah, but you could easily just enter into workforce
Yeah,
and get a
I
good
could.
job and be fine and support
Yeah,
yourself.
I
So
could.
when you don't need it,
Until there's no jobs to be had, or our economy's collapsed, or
there's a lot of
like
jobs to be
whatever.
had right now. There's a lot of jobs. There are jobs to be had.
No,
There are some
you're
really.
not listening. We're talking like bad times. We're not talking
I
about like
understand. I get it.
normal times.
I get it.
Like
I get it.
where you get fired because they can't pay you, because they
I
have to
don't know.
liquidate their assets because all their fucking money is fake.
I understand. I get it.
Like there's a reason why, Ryan. They're not hiring more people and they're working you to the death. If that doesn't make you fucking suspicious, if that doesn't make you go, why won't they just hire more people?
Because they
Why?
make more money.
No, it has nothing to do
Yes.
with money. It's
Yeah,
that
it is.
they're
everything
going
to do with money.
no, because they're moving their assets from
Who
there
are you
to
talking about?
somebody
Wait,
else.
what are you referencing?
The hospitals, the banks, like they're moving.
No, my
for you
hos-
specifically.
I'm currently even experiencing it.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's
That's what
not.
I mean.
It's a disconnect between. It's a disconnect between like empathy. So the surgeon doesn't give a fuck that we're short-staffed. They have money they need to make. That's the nurse managers and nursing director. That's their fucking problem to deal with. So I'm going to admit these patients regardless because this is a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of what's going on. So it's
Right.
not about.
Why would they not try
It's
to get
just-
you more people?
They are, but like it's getting. They are trying. They're trying. It's hard. It's a very specific field.
There's some
Very
suspicious.
specific.
It's
My-
very sus.
very-
It's very sus.
I'm
It's
very,
very sus.
niche. I'm very niche.
You're very niche specialized. I'm telling you, like I really do think though. But what would you do if they just said, "Hey, dude, we can't pay you"?
I'll go get another job.
You know what I mean? Like that. But like, what if there is no other jobs? Like that's
I'll
what
figure
happened
something
during the Great
out.
Depression. You know?
I
Like,
know, but I got my
crazy.
job, thankfully, in a weird way. During hard
No, but what
times,
what happens if they said we can't pay you?
then I'll just take a pay cut and I'll still have a job.
Or you probably get inflation. The way inflation's going.
Right. So there's.
Right. You probably get paid like $200,000, but.
So you're saying I'll be a Nazi?
I mean, maybe we all might be Nazis. We all could be Nazis.
No, the majority of the population would have been Nazi.
And that's my point. Is like if you don't think that it's going to get far worse from here in the short term.
Well, we also have we can also have retrospect.
You should look at.
I know history repeats itself. I
Just
understand.
go look up what happened with Lenin. Lenin's really interesting character and like how he came to prominence and power. And there was no violent revolution.
I thought there was an educational revolution. Was that China or Russia?
China was more.
It's like the younger kids. It was a younger population.
Lenin, the Russian Revolution was completely different. It was the academia, the intelligentsia that really, and the abuse of the aristocrats and the monarchy. What was it called? I think there's a different word for it. I can't remember it right now. But yeah, they were fucking bad people too. The people wanted things to be replaced. They didn't want to industrialize. Then when they did industrialize, the workers were fucking abused and mistreated. Like, there's a lot of reasons that why it led to the way that did. Of like people having protests and getting shot in the fucking street, like hundreds of people by their monarchical government. So they wanted to die. But did you die? I don't know if it was 900 people. 900 wounded and 200 killed, which is still.
Yeah, we're in an interesting time.
Go look at Lenin. It's interesting. Like you would, but when they took post-grad,
I think the next thing I'm gonna look at is Huckleberry Finn or the first book of The Witcher.
very quickly, when they capital, which before Moscow was Postrograd or however you say it, they barely had to fight. They literally like just walked in the buildings and said, they raised their flags like we're fucking here. We're the Soviets. Or I don't think they started out as the Soviets, but it's pretty crazy.
Can I ask you a question?
Hmm?
So if you said, I mean, you said that you would imagine that most people would just kind of go with the flow of whatever's happening. Like a lot of people, what?
They would go abstinent. I think abstinent is kind of like they would just go. I'm not picking a side.
They're not participating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess to come full circle. And like when it comes to like the abolishment of the state and stuff like that, like then what would give you the hope that people could like be responsible enough to actually like be productive and create something.
Think about the founding fathers. The British said you're too ignorant, you're too
Yeah,
stupid.
but we already did it. We did it though. We already
When I'm
did
talking, oh no, I'm just talking about human beings in general, like human nature.
No, there's no doubt that the forces or groups of people turn into larger groups. They turn into cities. They turn into factions. They turn into whatever you states and this stuff. There's no doubt. But if we come with the understanding and the realization that is ultimately maybe not a good way to function as a society, there's a possibility. There's a question there. If people were raised to understand that, like, hey, listen, like, statism, like, it's a way of doing things. We just chose to do it differently. And if it actually works out to be better, I think that's a good thing. We just can't keep putting the power in the hands of the few. Like, we just can't keep living this way. Like,
yeah, I understand that. I agree. I agree to a certain extent, but but I guess I just would go back to I don't have the most optimistic view that like people would be able to like do it, especially if you just looked at modern society, and seems like the deconstruction of our values and the effect that that's had, and
there's on a small scale, communism works.
There could be a cultural revolution that swings back into those ideals and values, though.
There's no doubt that once you start incorporating, like, I think they say once you get past like 40 or 60 people, or there's a certain number, it's like that's when the issues really start coming up or something.
Yeah,
like
we got 330 of them.
Million of them, yeah. So like you got to think, how does China do what they do? You know, that's through fear, through coercion, through.
It's another method.
Like, it is another method. It's a very hardcore method.
And they're so oppressed that they don't know that.
Well, maybe America's constitutional is a good balance of authoritarianism and statism and anarchy. Maybe because there is anarchy structures in this country. Like,
well, isn't the United States built on anarchy, or is that a common misconception?
You could argue that separation of this from their state. And then they created a new one. Their goal wasn't to create anarchy.
Well,
their goal was
they still adopted. They still took values and ideals from.
Anarchy wasn't even discussed back then. Anarchy,
well, I know, but it's not. I don't even think it'd be considered anarchy because they take on ideals and values from England.
But they had an individualist mindset.
Yeah,
that was what the big thing was, and the same thing with anarchy. Is the ultimate, like.
Americans are very unique.
Communism is complete collectivism, and anarchy is complete individualism. Like, only individual, that matters. That's where the power lies, is with the individual, not the state. So maybe you guys are right. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe this is a good system, and this is the way it should be. And, you know, we're going to have ebbs and flows of good times, bad times, but this system is allowed to somehow hold itself together. And maybe this is the good thing. I mean, North Korea is going to be the longest standing communist regime in the world here soon. They are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just, you know, hundreds of thousands of people or whatever, tens of thousands of people in.
Well, damn, but that's like you're opening up a whole new can of ravioli.
What do you mean? Well, what I'm saying.
We're ending a conversation. You're bringing up North Korea and how we all three agree. You know, there's a great. Probably there's genocide going on.
There's genocide, yeah.
And everybody knows it's like the world's dirty secret. Everybody knows it's going on.
Yeah.
And that's like a whole new can of ravioli and beans. You can't
have beans.
You can't
what kind of cans you buying?
All I'm
shop
saying,
at Aldi's.
All I'm saying is, like, you have communism at one end of the spectrum, and then you have anarchy. That's it. Like, those are the two ends of the deep end. Like,
I guess I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Could be bad, and maybe America falls somewhere in the middle.
I see.
The government can't function without authority, Ryan. It needs to be authoritarian. It cannot function without it. It needs to have that strong power. The hard power. Like my dick.
Well, there you go. There you go. You guys want to see Cenk Uygur say the N-word?
No.
Honestly, kind of.
Do it.
We're doing it live?
Doing it live, dude. It's just Cenk Uygur. It's not us.
Is this recent? That's old.
That's me using that word nigger.
except when I say it 6 more times in this recording. Okay, never gonna happen. Not in my lifetime. I work too hard for them to catch me using the word nigger. Okay. No, I'm not talking about the niggers with no souls. I'm talking about regular niggers. She's not the wrong kind of nigger. She's just the kind of nigger we call nigger. You think you're never gonna get in trouble for that? You're quite wrong. You're in total trouble for it.
So was
And
he
by the
reading
way,
something
I
that
still don't
somebody
get the
said?
decision. And I think
Yeah,
he
because
means
that's
that's
I don't know. Like that's
So
kinda
it's
crazy.
obviously they're covering a story, and they're clipping. He's obviously like
I actually
speaking
kind of think it
as
was
if
funny.
as if it,
It
was
was a little
somebody.
That doesn't
as-
make me look on him negatively.
No, it doesn't. No, we're just talking about because of who he is today.
First of all, he's a person of color.
I don't know. I don't know if Turks are allowed to do that. I
That
don't know.
sounds like
Guys,
such a racist
I don't know if you're ending
term,
this, but
person
I
of
gotta go
color.
pee. I gotta go pee, guys. Mike, if
All right, everybody.
Over.
We'll talk to you guys next
Bye.
week. Goodbye. Dance Confused Dance.
Come on, take me by my hand. Gonna bury all our troubles in the sand. Oh yeah.
Jordan Peterson a pedophile?
Yep.